GRG Podcast, where you get all the latest gaming news, hot topics, and more. With guest Triple Cup Chuck, Live Wires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Op, 100, live, and your host, K Mega 405. The GRG Podcast
starts right now.
What's up, everyone? The GRG Podcast is live. We are doing it live, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing it live. Welcome. As you can see right off the bat, we got Prometheus from the Zeus dancing for the Xbox Series X. Go ahead and get your groove on, partner. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Do it for the public. Do it for the public.
What the hell are you talking about?
The video that you did where you showed, I just recorded it, man, because you don't be giving me no gameplay no more. So I said, fuck it, I'll just use that little piece. Anyway, so
Disrespectful.
I know, so disrespectful. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? The GRG Podcast is in full effect, man. We are here. We're a little short tonight, but you know what? That's all right. We got everything we need. Bloody Knuckles, he has his Satan rings, and he is ready to compel on to the high, mighty, Japanese studio gods, so he could go ahead and get his play on with Phantasy Star Online. Ain't mad at that.
No. They have abandoned him. It's not working.
Oh, it's not working for him?
It ain't working for nobody.
I saw him making his character.
Yeah.
And he was doing the Power Ranger dance and everything.
Yeah, we all did that, and then we all got kicked out.
Oh, well, I got to the part where it said it was authentic. It was authenticating the ID.
I call it the tunnel of love. I got to the tunnel of love.
Yeah, and then it just
the light tunnel.
Yeah, and it said, "Hey," and then it boom, kicked me. I said, "All right, man, let me just get ready let me watch my little 30 minutes of Rachel Maddow and then get to the show." But man, I'll see if we can try to get on. If not, I was expecting we wasn't going to really get into the show into the game until tomorrow anyway. As for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but anyway, we're a little bit light. Like I said, we got Bloody doing that, and then Livewire. He told me that he had to take care of his dreads. He had to go get the tips dyed. So I told him, go ahead and get it. He said he was going to put some dolphin barrette clips on the ends. So go ahead and get it. Tell me what color you dye them. I'm dying to see some 6'9" cat with dolphin barrettes and
light gray and maybe blue on it. That's what it's gonna be.
And some dyed tips. Hey man, that's my man. Anyway, a big shout out to our Donald Trump man. But anyway, let's get on to the show. Before we do that, of course, we always introduce the crew. So without further ado, let's go straight to the Rookie of the Year. What's going on with you, Op? What's happening, man?
Not much, man. Just chilling. I tried Fang Star, but we couldn't get through it. That was a waste of time.
Yes.
But before that, I was just playing Gears 5 most of the day, just grinding on that.
Oh no, don't say that, because Bloody was killing me for saying that it ain't working.
I mean, he's still struggling right now, so I don't know what he's mad about.
He mad because it ain't working. Now it's everybody else's fault.
You know what? Damn near an hour, he still can't get in the game. Like, come on.
Oh boy, he just twisted the knife.
Oh man, just disrespectful. All right, so
battle fight. That's on him.
Okay. All right. So my boy Op over here throwing some jabs at the King of the Satan rings. Man, leave that man alone.
I said, yo, you might as well come do a GRG. He says, no, I got to do this. I said, you ain't doing nothing over here.
He said, I didn't stream yesterday because I was getting ready for 12 hours.
Screen in loop, he can go ahead.
I mean, just let them see it and just let the people watch and do the podcast. It's all good. But just hopefully it works out for my man. But other than that,
yeah, like 3-4 in the morning.
He's still gonna be up. He had his drink ready. He had his shades on. He was ready. He is ready. But anyway, let's move on to my man 100. What's going on with you, man? Are you ready for that Phantasy Star?
Shoot, if it's gonna work, I gotta re-download it. Say corrupt file. Ain't that about? That's 68.
Oh, I never heard that one. Don't tell Bloody that. It always works. Japanese don't drop the ball.
Disrespectful. He's ready. He is ready.
Ooh, he gonna get this smoke tonight.
So,
man 100.
I'm gonna give him the
what's going on with you, man? Are you ready for that Phantasy Star?
It's gonna work. I got to read
Oh
down.
boy.
Oh my goodness. All right, cool. But other than that, then last but not least, man, we got my boy Lemetheus from the Zeus. What's going on with you, fam?
Nothing, man. Just wasted an hour of my life trying to get on this damn Fantasy Star Online. Just want to get these topics popping, man.
Man,
I need my fix tonight.
I know.
That was
all right.
crazy.
I know. That's why I was like, man, I was playing Halo. I was like, man, I already kind of had a feeling that it wasn't just going to be ready to just go at because everybody was going to jump straight into it. And I
Are
mean,
you
it was
still playing Halo? Bruh,
yeah,
sprint?
yeah.
De-emphasizing power weapons?
I know.
Boy,
I know.
matter anymore? Damn, bro, how can you play that garbage, bro?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's just something that is called fun, and
What is that?
it keeps my interest. That's what it's about. That's what I thought what gaming was. It was supposed to have fun and something that keeps my interest. So that's why I
Who
still
does
play
that?
Halo. I don't
No,
know.
who does that?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I really don't.
Fun.
We'll
You're not
definitely.
supposed to play games and have fun. You're supposed to play games and ridicule people's gamer score and talk about the games that's not on their console. That's what the gaming community is about.
You know what? And crowdfunding, Kickstarters. You're absolutely right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I will go in. I'm gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna need op. I'm gonna need because I know 100 is gonna probably let me just let the gamma green come out of me. But I gotta go to my brothers, man. They're gonna have to pull me because once we get to the topic talking about platinum games, I don't know if I can contain myself. I'm gonna try to be as even keel and level headed as possible, but I think I'm gonna go ignorant, man. I think I really am. But other than that, let's get on. And before we get into the hot topics, there is one thing that popped up. Well, there was a couple of things, but I'm only just gonna talk about this one thing, which is actually kind of concerning. Well, no, fuck it. It's two things because
I'm starting early.
yeah, I'm starting over because all right, check this out, right? So, and we can be brief on both of these things. One thing was a report coming in saying that the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 may be delayed because due to the how you say that
The coronavirus.
The coronavirus. I had to get
Right.
it because it sounds weird because when you say corona, you're thinking of the beer and you're like, what? Okay, but anyway, the coronavirus, right? So let me go to you. Well, Hunter's got his mic muted. Let me go to you, Op. First off, right off the bat, what do you think, man? Is this a legitimate concern? Do you actually think that this might be something that gamers might have to look forward to? I mean, and how will gamers receive this, knowing that those consoles, because they're being made out in China, could actually be, or in those regions, could actually be in jeopardy for being delayed? What do you think?
Well, the first thing is American companies, please get your damn factories out of China and bring it back over to the United States. Bring your jobs back here. Two, this could be a possibility of delaying the console and possibly games and later on this year. Because like if the last thing Microsoft or Sony needs is mass producing and releasing bioweapons in the United States.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Ones like quote unquote bioweapons at that point. But yeah, contaminated materials releasing to the masses
Right.
that is like so the United Nations get involved in that shit right at that point. But this is a possibility, it is a concern at this point, because from what I've been reading, the development in China is getting worse. Like allegedly, the doctor who first diagnosed this died, I believe.
Yes.
Recently.
Yes. Just this week.
Yeah. Yeah, like the city, I guess, which is like the epicenter of it, where it originated from, is like a full quarantine lockdown right now, and it sounds like draconian laws are being enacted over there at this point. And apparently, like millions of people who are possibly contaminated already left the city as well. So I don't know, but like this could lead to something worse. We just got to watch the situation closely, see what happens. But as far as like the console being delayed, I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen.
Well, yeah, and you know what? You made a great point because there was also a video that I seen where China made 8 hospitals and within a week, in like what was it, 7-8 days, to house the people that were infected. And I mean that as a person that's in construction, that works in construction, I couldn't even imagine what kind of workload that would be. Like, I mean, we've done stuff with the Hobby Lobby, the Devon Tower, working on the Amazon building out here, things like that. And it was constant, keep it going, don't stop. You got it, 12, 14, 15, 16-hour days. With you doing something that massive, and because these were housing thousands and thousands of patients, 8 different hospitals, mind you, that is a lot of work in a short time. And we're talking about, like, these people was working 24-hour shifts, maybe even more, which is dangerous as hell. Which people,
Right.
That's low key slavery right there.
people would
Like
people yeah
slave hours.
people were sleeping, had to be sleeping on the job site for only just a few hours, and then had to just keep rotating, or they had enough. I'm like, that's insane. But regardless, 100. What is your thoughts about this, man? I mean, is this something to be concerned about? Do you actually think that there could be a potential, potentially something could get delayed from this?
No, it's back. Everybody got backups. Remember when the Switch? Remember when it's the Switch? People like they talking about the Switch. The Switch has a person that make the Switch in Vietnam. It's a backup to everything. So, would it be like a super large quantity all at one time? We don't know yet. But Foxconn said they're gonna be open up next week. So, it is what it is. I mean, I don't think it's bad for what it is, because it is. I mean, I think people leading on too much with it. They don't even been off work for what, a week or two. So that's kind of like somebody going on vacation. And like I said, the way they be doing the employees, they gonna treat them like slaves anyway. It's gonna have them running and running and running and running and running. So they gonna get the product. They gonna get the product. You might don't see every store get 1,000 of them. You might get 500 of them. But everybody doesn't buy consoles, especially brand new consoles, day one like that. Everybody don't have the money like that. There's a lot of people balling on a budget. So I don't expect PlayStation 5 or what's called they sold 2 million in 6 months. No, I don't see that type of number.
So you don't see it. So you really are you thinking that the coronavirus is really not that serious? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's serious, but it's containable. It's only thing about it, no one died.
Oh no,
But
there are
in
people
China-
that died. What are you talking about?
Yeah, people that died, but they all was in China.
No,
people that got it-
there's been a couple of
People
cases.
that no, the people that died, the people that got it in Japan hasn't died. Nobody died in Japan. Nobody hasn't died out here. Nobody hasn't died in Australia.
For what
They
I've
ain't
seen,
died
like I think
Europe.
people who are like mature age had previous medical conditions. There are people who have died from it, if I remember correctly. But
From
like the people who are younger, who are in, I guess, decent health, they're able to recover from it.
Yeah, from my understanding is that I think it's about 28,000 cases worldwide. And it's been around like about 600 to 700 people that's died. I could be off with those numbers. But the point of the matter is that we got some cases out here in the United States. There was the first case, I think, in Seattle. There was another case out there. There was a scare out here in Oklahoma. There was a couple of scares other places. Matter of fact, I was just seeing something before I jumped on the show, was saying that there was a cruise liner that was out there in Florida that had some people some passengers that were sick, and they were afraid of those people might have this virus.
Yeah, I
So
remember reading that today.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
but it's places instead. Like people don't understand. Like LAX, it's another airport in LAX. So say if that flight came in and they had something, it's a rural airport inside of the real airport. Like it's rural terminals that is not, and you got to get bused. You'll get bused somewhere. You don't even get to the regular public. A lot of these big airports have that type of stuff, and I heard that that's what they're doing. If they feel like it's something, they're going to divert you to one of them airports. One of the big airports that stage, like Denver has a big airport. That's because it's really military. I don't know why. It's made for military anyway, because they got the longest runway in the God-free earth. I can't stand flying into Denver. Took you 20 minutes just to get to the gate. But No, but I think it's gonna get under control. And you know, we kind of live off of it. And I don't want nobody with the coronavirus. I'm not saying it's not something bad or something like that. I'm trying to think of it. Is it on the par? Is it on par like Ebola? I don't think so. I think to me it reminds me more of pneumonia to me.
Well,
And
pneumonia
some
is.
people,
Well,
yeah, and some
I would look at
and
it as
some
more
people
of
can die off of it, and some people
the flesh-eating
some,
virus. That was something that
so,
was pretty crazy. I look at it in that
so,
same type of vein. So
so.
I don't know. Okay. All right. What about you, Lemon? You think that there could be a delay?
Nope, not for Microsoft. They got factories in Mexico.
Okay.
I forgot about that. They had them factories there since the manufacturing of the OG Xbox. They don't just have. I don't know how much of their stuff is done in China, but and I don't know where Sony got another factory at, but I know Microsoft for sure has factories in Mexico. They have deep Mexico ties with manufacturing systems, especially the 360. It was even larger then. There won't be no delay for the Xbox Series X. I know that. I don't know about Sony, and I think Sony don't manufacture their own stuff. They outsource, but I don't think they just stuck in China either.
Okay. All right. Your mic is a little distorted. Sounds like a little bit. So, or it could be you. I
Should
don't
be
know.
not close enough. How do I sound now?
You sound better. You sound better.
Yeah, I just moved the mic closer. That's it.
All right. Cool. Cool. Stop leaning back before you fall out your chair.
Lean back. I'm about to lean back. Adult beverage in the building.
Woo! Adult beverage. Anyway. All right. So I mean, okay. Like, I don't know, man. It's something just to talk about. I think that there is some cause for concern, but I mean, these companies, they'll get through it. And then on top of that as well, both of these companies, most of their games are going to be on PC and on the older hardware. So you'll still be able to play these games on your console. So even if it's delayed, yeah, that's unfortunate. But I mean, we got to look at the reality here of the outside world instead of just thinking about what's going on with us and look at it and listen. It's like Op said, you don't want a damn contaminant threat to come into your house just because, look, I mean, if they saying that they got to hold back to make sure that you don't open up that box and then just get all types of heebie-jeebies, then look, the delay will be good. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, everywhere that we at and across the world, man, you would hope that these people wouldn't just want to rush it in just because somebody says, I want the game now. Fuck that. Hey, take your time, do what you got to do, make sure it's right. All right, my old lady coming in with some Arby's. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, so
I hope your food is cold.
what you mean you hope my food is cold? Disrespectful. What a disrespectful bastard. Just for that. Yes. Hot, ready to serve. Anyway. But all right, but let's
the fries are cold, man. It's over.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, if the fries are cold, it is bad. Anyway, so other than that, all right, let's move on. Let's get to the very first topic then. What was the first topic? I actually kind of forgot now. Oh yeah, it's about Phil and the stuff that he said. Reason why I put this first is because I think that it's one of those things where people they've been taking it and blowing it up to the next degree. And so I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts on it. But if you have not heard anything about what Phil said here about in regards to competition between Sony and Nintendo, let me go ahead and just read it for you. All right. So in an article, this is what he said. He says, I don't want to be in a fight over format wars with those guys at Amazon and Google are focusing on how to get gaming to 7 billion around the world, says Spencer in a protocol interview. Ultimately, that's our goal. When you talk about Nintendo and Sony, we have a ton of respect for them. But we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors going forward, says Spencer. That's not to disrespect Nintendo or Sony, but the traditional gaming companies are somewhat out of position. I guess they could try to recreate Azure, but we've invested tens of billions of dollars in cloud over the years. Now, I'm gonna go straight to you, Lemon, on this one. Did you find anything wrong with those statements coming from Phil Spencer? I know that there's been a lot of people that's been saying, look, man, Phil is he's out of touch. He's not understanding what's going on. How in the world is Xbox not, you know what I'm saying, that Phil Spencer could actually basically kind of shoo away Sony and Nintendo when Xbox is not first in gaming and things of that nature. Or do you understand what he was trying to say, or do you agree with the people that's been saying that Phil was out of touch out of these comments? Oh, okay. Well, thank you, 108. All right. Okay,
It's
so
first time
My bad.
I know.
yeah. What? Damn.
I just ran to the kitchen real quick to get my adult beverage. My bad.
Oh man, that's
I
my
know
bad.
that. You talking about Phil, right?
Yeah, did you hear
And
what I
what he
said
said.
though?
Yeah, well, I know what he said.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Well, do you think he's wrong for what he said, or do you think that the people that's from what he said was just blowing it up way out of proportion?
No, what he said is the damn truth.
Mhm.
What did we talk about a few podcasts ago with the whole X Cloud and I said people looked at the gaming awards that time they walked out, all three on stage, Nintendo president, Sony president, and Phil. And I said they are on the same stage for a reason. They are being challenged by two big damn companies with deep pockets. Then they got their own console situation. We noticed. But out of those two competitors to Nintendo, from Nintendo and Sony, neither one of them even combined can compare to Microsoft money. Microsoft has to look at Google and Amazon because they could match that money and the output of sources. You know what I'm saying? They have to take them seriously. There is 7 billion gamers on the planet. But the point is, who got that money to reach them? Nintendo only got Nintendo stuff. They don't do TVs. They don't do nothing. They just got video games. They don't have that type of money to challenge Microsoft. If Microsoft wanted to go around buying everybody, they could and monopolize, but they don't. Sony has good pockets, but they don't have Microsoft money pockets. So you get two juggernauts stepping into the game, you got to take them seriously. You can't play with them. That's why he said that. Now, if you notice, on going into the next generation, everybody playing nice. Cross play. Everybody want to be on Azure servers. It's a bigger picture than what the statement is saying. And people are just looking at, he said like Nintendo is not his competition. Of course, in the console realm, but when it comes to these digital distribution, Nintendo ain't no damn challenge to X Cloud. Neither is PlayStation Now. What's the biggest thing? Stadia, GeForce Now, and whatever else Amazon's going to bring later on down the road. Because them pockets are deep. So he is 100% correct. He's looking at the big picture. You don't hear nobody else talking about, our next generation streaming service is going to be amazing. Who on Nintendo said that? Who has said that in Sony? And you can reach more people digitally than you can do hard copies. So he's right. It's not blown out of proportion. People just don't like what he said, but he don't be lying. And most people that look at the business aspect don't even understand what they're reading. Oh, you heard what Phil said? Disrespecting Nintendo and Sony. He ain't disrespecting them. They all teaming up for console against the big boys or the bigger boys. If anything, Sony and Nintendo need Microsoft to lead the way financially against them juggernauts because they don't got that type of money. Am I wrong, anybody? Please tell me if I'm wrong.
I'm not gonna. I'll save my thoughts for the end. But were you still going, or was? Or
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. Cool. All right. What about you, Op? Where you stand? Are you in lines with Lemon, or are you thinking something else?
Phil's wrong on all accounts. Hey, everybody, resident PlayStation fanatic over here. So I spent the better half of my adult life personifying, molding, just basing my mental image, self-worth, self-esteem off of my preferred console, PlayStation, for about a good part of my life. and for Phil to come out and it's like he don't need us anymore. It's like so he say like, he just discarded us like we're just trash. He say he don't call compete with us no more.
It's gonna be all right, man.
How?
Well, because PlayStation is still relevant. I mean,
To who?
I mean,
Not
to you,
That's what matters.
but to you, it's still relevant.
Damn my feels, bro. He don't need us no more.
Man, no. He didn't say he didn't need you. He said
Yes, he
with
did,
all-
man. I read an article.
He said all
IGN
due
wrote.
respect. I mean, look at what he handed to you. He handed the Azure service to you guys. I mean, for a sum, but I mean, look at you got that.
Look at fucking those zero search. That's a publicity stunt. Just
Yo, I'm done. I'm done with him.
I can't, man.
Okay.
We already beat them. We ain't got shit to play right now, man. A console trying roaches on occasion, bro. Like, and now this shit.
I mean,
Like, bro, we lost John Layden.
Final Fantasy
Adam
is right
Boys.
around the corner. Right around the corner.
Yoshi
right
got
around the corner.
demoted. Which one of the motherfuckers got demoted? I don't remember at this point. Bro, like, we don't have E3, PSX, bro. Now we got this shit on top. He don't want to compete with us no more, bro. What else is left? Nintendo? They making bullshit as mobile games, bro. We don't want to mess with.
I mean, come on, Op. I mean, PlayStation showed off all the numbers. You guys have sold 106 million consoles. That means something, right?
But what's the point? He don't want to compete. We're here at the top by ourselves, bro. It's lonely, bro.
It's lonely, but I mean, so it shouldn't matter what Phil says, right?
That's the point. It should, man, because he validates our feelings, man. If he don't care, why should we?
But I understand that. But I mean, look at it from this standpoint. You still have God of War, Horizon
We
Zero
already beat
Dawn.
that.
Okay. You got Horizon Zero Dawn.
Beat that shit, bro. Come on now.
You got Persona 5.
Bro, we didn't play that shit. Come on now.
Okay, so all right.
You didn't play with the penis demon?
I mean, look. Come on, man. Look at all those lists that you have put down in all of these 6 years that y'all put down to show that the greatness that you have. So why should Phil's words matter to you so much?
Because we did all that shit to piss him off, bro. And y'all too.
Well, obviously,
Now, you don't care.
It don't seem like Phil cares.
Man, y'all don't get it, man. Just need some time to myself. I can't, bro. This is a lot of process right now.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Bring in your inner, bring out your inner, I don't know, your inner PlayStation demons. You know what I'm saying? Here at GRG, we're here to help you. You're a nut. All right, do you got anything else you want to add on that, or you done with that? That was how you played it. Okay, all right.
Everybody really blew this shit up out of proportion. From the get-go, he was referring to cloud gaming, not gaming as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you have Google and Amazon coming in, and they've been pretty aggressive before they even launched their own streaming services. As far as getting the gaming industry, like Amazon, they bought Twitch. That's a good foothold in the gaming industry right now because everybody throughout gaming goes to Twitch for their content as well, besides YouTube.
Right.
Now, Google, of course, YouTube, walkthroughs, playthroughs, people live stream on there. That already makes a big portion of gaming content and gets a medium for it to get transferred over to casuals and people and whatnot as well. So they have their foundation in gaming right now. It's not as dominant as Xbox is, but they're slowly growing at that point now through cloud gaming and streaming. So at Microsoft, they have to acknowledge the potential threat to their space because they also want those track those same gamers as well via streaming on mobile devices and whatnot. So of course they have to take them seriously now. Now people want to misconstrue this as saying they don't see Nintendo and Sony as competitors anymore in gaming as a whole. It's ridiculous at that point. Because at the end of the day, they can all be nice to each other as much as they want, but people are still going to choose one device over the other, or one game over the other on a different platform. That's never going to go away until exclusives don't exist at that point. But yeah, people are just like, it's the same thing. Like, it's really the same thing as always. They take one article or take an interview one of them did, and change around the words and turn to something else and run with the narrative. It's the same thing happened with Sony as far as their investors call, I believe, that happened recently when everybody pretty much lied and said that they're waiting on an Xbox or a Series X price when they never said that or mentioned that at all. That's what everybody extrapolated from that investors call, but that's not what they said verbatim. So people you gotta read the source material, you gotta read the articles, and get your facts straight before you start running with a narrative that's not even true. But yeah, as far as this, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Cool. What about you, 100? Where you stand on this? I mean, do you feel that Phil was right on his stance, or do you feel something different?
I'm gonna put it this way. Phil, this ain't the first time Phil said this. Phil said we wasn't in competition with with PlayStation before. Because why? Because they on a whole different level. They on a whole different level. That Microsoft is doing things that they're innovating. You know, what you think Amazon doing? Do Sony has their own network anymore? No, what they own? Xbox servers. So you just killed your competition right there. Because you know what you got. You know they hand because they need you. You don't need them. Amazon tried to hit them over the head. Look at Google. Google has the resource. Google has so many failed projects that they cancel. If I had $1, I'd be rich. They have it. People don't understand Sony is going through a restructuring process. They had to go dance with the devil. They had to go sign to the devil. That is just what Sony did is what Kevin Durant did when he went to go play for Golden State.
Absolutely.
And he lost, and you lose credibility for doing it instead of trying to do it yourself. Phil is right. Xbox and Microsoft are trying to innovate. They innovated with Game Pass. They innovated with xCloud. So they're competing with everybody. They don't make TVs. They're not selling a 3200 Walkman. They're not selling phones that's nobody's buying. They're not making movies doing wood. They're contracting. There are a tech company, and them the two tech companies that got just as much money. Amazon actually was projected last year that Amazon was going to hit the $1 trillion point before Microsoft was.
Facts.
But no one wants to tell you that. Your favorite people ain't going to tell you that. They going to tell you that. See, y'all, they like to talk these numbers. Phil just kept it a buck. And think about it. What Phil was saying is not for you. It's for investors. It's for other people.
Facts.
None of y'all ain't in no Business Weekly.
Stop, 100. Don't do that.
They not. They ain't in no Business Weekly. They go, here, I got this for Force. I don't go to Force for my gaming.
What do? He just changed to his phone?
Hang on, let me get damn switch.
All right, hold on. Let me give a big shout while you doing that. Let me give a big shout out to Mirror XT8. He said, great show, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And he said he got the emojis. He's laughing, a koala bear on a tree, and there's dolphins. I'm trying to figure out what the koala bear is for. I don't know if that was for Ops Performance, and he should get a Grammy here pretty soon for that, because that was very convincing. Because you sounded like a stand. You sounded just like a PlayStation stand, and I have to give you a lot of props for that.
Hey, you think that's crazy, bro? Let's get them on the show one time, see what happens.
All right, man, I've been asking them to come on to GRG, man. I've been asking, trust me. Ain't nobody scared of anybody in the gaming spectrum. People be like, oh, man, nobody don't hit me up. If you hit me up, I'll be on your show. If I hit people up on the regular, I say, hey, I've hit Sick, I've hit I don't know, I've hit quite a few people. I mean, saying the only people that's came on that I got respect for coming on, Porter Rock, Jabari, BG. Everybody else has come on, and everybody else is kind of like neutral, maybe Xbox S, but it is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? Oh, what's going on in here?
That.
Man, where the hell you at? You sound like you are southbound. Where the hell you at? You outside?
We're on the PCH highway right now, coming to you live.
Oh, shit. All right, South, what's going on with you, man? What's up with you, South? What's happening with you,
What's
bro?
good with y'all? I'm just over here, trying to grab me some got a couple burritos on order, posting up on PCH, watching the traffic fly by.
All right.
And,
so you're trying to fly through. Okay. All right, so
trying to dip dive and socialize.
All right, cool, man. We appreciate you. So, okay, since we asked 100 about his thoughts about what Phil said, what is your thoughts, man? Since you kind of like just a guest, come on here. What is your thoughts? You think what Phil said about Really, he's not looking at Sony or PlayStation as being competition. He's looking at Google and Amazon more as competition for Microsoft.
Listen, I mean, obviously, you know, I talk to him on a regular basis or semi-regular, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you talk to him on a regular basis. Don't do that.
No. But I've been on this.
Regular basis.
We've already had
Homeboy
this conversation.
status. Yes.
He's been saying this for a couple of years now, and it's not about units sold or anything. It's all about the pocketbook, because Sony doesn't have the dough, Nintendo doesn't have the dough that Microsoft does.
Hold up, South. You can't come in here and say what I said, because that makes me be right, and you talking to the man. That would make me be right.
Because all I do is facts.
Oh.
No, seriously, it all boils down to the bank account. You know, big bank take little bank. Because
Ice Cube.
Hey. Google, Amazon, they could sit there and just lose money all day, and then they wouldn't even bat an eye, because they got that bank account that just won't quit. Sony, Nintendo, they'd have to bow out. So yeah, I know a lot of people get all their little chonies in a bunch, but you know what? Hey, the truth, yeah, they may have the install base on the Xbox, but they got the bank that Microsoft does. And so, you know, and that's before Stadia even came out, and, you know, obviously everybody knows they fucking shot themselves in the foot, tripped and fell, you know, fucking couldn't even pull up their pants as they were getting out the door. But the thing is, they can afford to take that hit, and they can keep stumbling, because they got that bank account to back it up.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So the bottom line is, I don't got a problem with what he said, because I've been on this for a couple of years now. He's just stating facts, because when everybody was saying, oh, you know, I'm so worried about not having a disk drive, because everybody knew, you know, the future was digital. You know, people are going to start doing, you know, bigger hard drives, you know, to install, you know, buy digital. GameStop's going out of business now. You go into any Best Buy, Fry's, you know, all these stores, and they're like a shell of their former selves.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know, like I was in Best Buy last week. I was in Best Buy last week, and I was going, this, like, it's bare bones. These should be a fat, thick chick. Now it's like anorexic. Like, damn, you need a burger, girl. Like, what happened?
Yo, let me get to this super chat real quick. Hold on, Wanda. Let me get to this super chat. Inferno Lock, good looking for that $5
yeah, man.
donation.
That's the homie that we was playing World War Z with last night.
Right. Yeah. We doing it live. Great game last night, and having you on. Hashtag Stadia/Xbox. Great gaming last night. Facts.
Yeah, that was great.
Go ahead, 100. My bad.
Yeah, no, all them big box stores, they falling.
Yeah. Amazon, yeah.
They shrinking, because Amazon came and took over the game. You can get anything from Amazon. I can get Amazon now. I need an extra controller. I don't need to get outside my house.
And the crazy thing is, you can get it in a couple hours now.
I get it in a couple of hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get it in a digital code instantly.
Right.
And just put it on your system.
You get what you call it, like Xbox money. When I send my son Xbox money, he just go and hit. I want to redeem on Xbox. It's there. Bam.
Yeah, they're even promoting out here, because we built that Amazon building, and it's not too far from where I'm at, and it's maybe about maybe about 6 miles away. They've even introducing the little drone things now. They're talking about wanting to implement that and put that out here. So yeah, Amazon and really everything else underneath that is getting swallowed up, except for Walmart, which is a big conglomerate that can handle
and doing their own swallowing
and doing their own. Yeah, like, I mean,
yeah, they killing stores around it.
Right, like, I mean, this is, you know what I'm saying, what South is saying is absolutely right. This is the problem, is where people don't want to comprehend, is that, just think about this, just last generation, or it was about a decade ago, Microsoft was trying to buy Sony. Microsoft was trying to buy Sony.
And don't forget, they were going to buy Nintendo too.
Yes. So, I mean, listen.
But at the same time, listen, it wouldn't be good if
Nah,
Sony,
it's not good.
Xbox. If someone took over, exactly. If someone took over Nintendo, it wouldn't be good.
No,
Because
it wouldn't.
Nintendo is an important part of an ecosystem.
Absolutely.
I mean, just look at the ocean. Even the corals. They serve a purpose. You know what I mean? It's circle of life, brother. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Lion King wasn't lying.
No,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
it absolutely, and that's why I look at it, and I respect what Phil was saying in the sense of he's looking at them as business partners now, as more so because he sees that their bigger threat are the other American companies, not anything in Japan. They're not dealing with them. They're not the ones that's hurting Microsoft at all. And if anybody really think about this from a logical perspective, think about this, right? Let's say that PlayStation was in Xbox's position this generation. Would Sony? I mean, would PlayStation itself really be strong suit to come out with the PlayStation 5, talk about VR, buy Azure server? I mean, buy Azure service and everything else. Or would they be almost closer to getting to bow out and maybe wanting to sell? Think about that for a second. Like Microsoft, it's like what South said. Microsoft just went ahead. Microsoft just took a big beating this year from all different perspectives, and they still making money some kind of way and being in second and third place for the majority of this generation.
Well, and that's the crazy thing is everyone's like, hey, I see all these fanboys and they're talking about, there's only a 50 million console, sales and installed base and all that. And I'm like, that's 50 million. Yeah, it's not 100 or whatever that the PlayStation has, but still 50 million. Just put the numbers in there.
Average console sales anyway. That's not a number that you laugh at because somebody reach 100, which Sony always damn near reaches 100, except for PlayStation 3. That's a normal for them. But if you got a console that sold 50 million units, that's a successful console. That's not a number you go, y'all only sold.
Right.
That's not 13 million Wii U's.
All you gotta do is they look at the financial earnings. When you're talking 12% of Microsoft's total annual income, good God.
Right.
Really?
Right.
But people got to go until you hear. Now Sony throws out the numbers.
Of course they do.
I don't really hear Nintendo do it. I don't think I hear it.
No, Nintendo don't throw out numbers either.
But no. But listen, real quick.
It's draw cardboard. We know that.
Hell yeah, they sold.
Real quick, Hunter. Boom. Let me tell you something. Let me ask you just a general question in life. When somebody got dough, do they flash it? Do they sit there and they start counting their hundreds and check out my bank account?
Only the chumps.
No. Right? Because they want to pretend and they want to show off what, they think that they're balling with, right? Microsoft got long stroke. So they don't need to throw their numbers out. Yeah, people can sit there and spin and be like, it's because they're embarrassed and they can't produce their numbers. No, they don't need to because...
I wish I was that embarrassed.
Hey, yeah, goddamn right.
Yeah, right. Like,
hey, brother, we're talking about billions, not millions. We're talking about billions.
Trillions now.
They're $1 trillion company.
They're $1 trillion company now.
Man,
I know, but I'm talking about revenue.
Just
revenue.
Yeah,
every year.
Billions, every year.
Yeah.
Every year. Quarter.
Billions.
Yeah, every quarter. So yeah,
come on.
Yeah, no, like you're right. Like and see other Zinc, he's not understanding my point of what I was saying. When I'm saying Xbox taking a beating, I'm talking about for this console war garbage that people take as seriously because they don't look at it because they look at Microsoft as a threat or a threat, which in all retrospect Microsoft don't need Nintendo or if Microsoft really wanted to play hardball, they could buy out everything that surrounds.
Yeah, right, they could.
They could buy out everything. I mean, they almost thought about doing it. You seen they took the Havoc engine. They was getting other shit in between. They were doing this. They were doing that. They got Mixer. I'm thinking about there's rumors that they're going to take Discord. Like, there's so many things that they could buy without having to buy those companies and choke them out. And then now PlayStation is used. use the single player, the old school gamer format until it can't be used no more. It's done. And this is the reality as well for the PlayStation fan is to understand. PlayStation is not number one in their own damn country. Nintendo is. Nintendo is king out there. Hell,
and you
Sony,
know what? Listen. Go ahead. You gotta give PlayStation their due. You know what? They're on top this generation, or well, they're not even on top anymore. But
they've done a great job.
No,
great job.
Yeah, they've done well with their formula. They went back to the drawing board and went back to number one from day one, and they're doing well. You know what? I applaud them. Hats off to them. But you know what? They still ain't bringing the bank like Microsoft or Nintendo is.
No. That's why my point overall was like, look, that's why I say think about it from just vice versa. If Sony was in the position of what Xbox was, what do you think? Do you think that Sony could have pulled out like Xbox has, comparing for what, you know what I'm saying, if Sony has a really bad launch? They almost was about to sell to Apple. They were about to sell to Apple with the PlayStation 3. Apple was about to buy Sony Pictures.
Come on. Don't you still see the winces when you bring up the cell processor?
Yes.
You bring up the cell processor, you'll see a Sony executive like, don't, you know what I mean? It's like it's like garlic to a vampire, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. No.
Right. Yeah.
But listen, like I said, I got much respect for Sony and what they're doing, but you know, I all day I go on Twitter and it depresses me because all I see is all these fucking console warriors. They're so worried about what Phil's saying every day on what Xbox is doing, the numbers, this and that, and it's like, why aren't you guys worrying about what PlayStation's doing?
Facts.
Why you guys are so fixated on what Microsoft and Xbox is doing? Because bottom line is, Xbox has been starting, you know, setting trends for what, 4 years now? Expanding and taking risks and going in a direction that everyone's like, oh my God, all the exclusives are going to PC. Ha ha ha! You guys don't have no exclusives. And now, just the last 6 months, you're starting to see PlayStation do the same shit, and it was like, oh well, 2 years ago it was hard, Xbox doesn't have nothing. Now look, they're setting trends, brother. You know, you ain't gonna leave money on the table. If there's money to be had, we gonna get it.
Right. You're absolutely right, and that's the thing, right? Is when Sony signed, I think when the writing was on the wall is when Sony signed that deal with Microsoft to show, look, we're here, the cloud, to where they're like, look, our infrastructure is nowhere near as structured as yours. We need to work together, and that's why everything else has came to. I don't know who said that. I don't know if that was Op or you or 100. I don't know which one said it, but now everybody's playing nice. Everybody's talking about, well, you know, there might be Nintendo games coming to Xbox. Xbox might be putting games on PlayStation. PlayStation might be letting go some of their properties and putting it on PC, and maybe we might see a couple of games come to Xbox. It's all because there are huger threats when it comes to Nintendo and especially Sony. Not so much Nintendo. Nintendo's people are always going to be committed. They are really, when it comes to exclusives, they are the creme de la creme. Microsoft and Sony should take note to what Nintendo does with their exclusives. They are the creme de la creme. But if you got Google and Amazon, see, that's why I keep talking about the shit with Stadia.
And don't forget, Apple's lurking too in the shadows.
Exactly. Like these are big, huge conglomerate American companies that has disposable income. They don't give a damn. Like somebody said in the chat, Amazon ain't even paying no fucking taxes. They got $10 billion in a year. $10 billion in a year. And tax-free.
They can go. They can go and snuff out of Sony. They can go snuff out of Nintendo and not even bat an eye.
Not even bat an eye. Not even a loss.
It wouldn't even take a check off the checking account.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
So at the bottom line, both of y'all are saying that Prometheus was right.
Yeah, well, I mean,
damn. This motherfucker's always about me.
They say greatness awaits, but when you talk greatness, people don't see it, baby.
Right.
I don't talk no nonsense. I've been saying it for a long time.
And also,
deep pockets change the game.
Yeah. And bottom line, it's business 101. Big
Right.
bank take, little bank.
Exactly.
Big
Right.
money talk. Don't let the little motherfucker walk.
You
Right.
go to the club, you got a dude with $10,000. He ain't scared of the dude with $1,000 to take all the women.
No.
He's worried about that dude with the $20,000 that could take all the women.
Right.
Damn
And-
right.
1,000
Right.
is y'all be all right, y'all good.
Yeah.
You can get a couple bottles.
Hey,
You gotta
you
respect
hood
the
rich.
people
You
with that
hood
money.
rich.
Huh?
But you know, hey, big dogs respect big dogs.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a different
and like
level.
like I said, you know, we can sit there and talk about Sony doing great and this and that, but when we're talking about Sony as a complete company, they're
They're not
they're in the
doing
red. Hey,
Yeah,
they're
they're
not.
in the red.
Yeah.
You hear constantly about them wanting to sell their movie, studios and
Apple was getting ready
you
to
know,
buy it, then they backed out.
Yeah,
And then check this out though. And check
Sony
this out.
tight.
This was something that and big shout out to my boy Thomas Franks, right?
And why don't you think? Well, why don't you think that there's no E3 for Sony? Why don't you think there's no PS Plus, whatever the fuck their little
Yeah.
their
Well,
little-
that was what I was gonna say. They got big movies coming out this year, and they're skipping that event. And I'm like, what is Sony doing? What in the hell is going on? Like, like I was saying, big shout out to Thomas Franks for sending me that. Like, they're not even. They got Bloodshot coming. They got, I think they got Morpheus. They got other stuff.
yeah,
They got Morpheus, right.
Yeah,
they have
got
Bad
the
Boys.
MCU.
Bad Boys is a Sony movie.
Yeah, Bad Boys is a Sony movie, and those movies are projected to do well, and the people from Vanity Fair were like, why is it Sony not coming to this event to show off what they have? They're doing really well with their movies at this particular time.
People are looking at the big budget movies. Sony has like 5 to 6 affiliate movie makers.
Exactly. So why they're not going to this event?
No, they
that's
should
gonna
be.
out there?
They
Yeah,
should
that's
be.
what I'm
But
saying.
Sony is going on. They're on a revamp, man. They gotta restructure their company because they're in the red.
Right.
And
They're pocket
that's
watching.
the best thing for them to do
And
because
how
they
come
won't be
nobody-
here.
And how come
They can't
nobody,
keep bleeding money.
all these Sony pony and console warriors, how come they ain't talking about all the shakeups going on with everybody leaving, PlayStation? That's what I don't understand.
I
They can
know
sit there and
that.
say, "Oh,
that is our
Phil
next.
Phil said there's no.
That's our next
PlayStation
topic.
Not their rivals, but you weren't about what Phil's saying, but you just locked 4 of your top guys in the last 6 months.
Right, and
Tell me. Explain it to me.
That's a good segue because that's our next topic. Before I get to the next topic, though, I will say big shout out to King James 1089. He said, "What up, GRG? Glad I could catch it live." You know what? I hear a lot of that, like when people they can catch us. Thank you, man. That means that it's spreading out. People get the chance to know that we're going live. So thank you for being here. But
Got another one.
oh, we got another one. We got another which one?
JMO Series X,
Oh,
$199. Appreciate you.
we got that.
Microsoft made
got it.
one of the best investments. Minecraft.
Yes.
Facts.
$2 billion, and people were like, "Damn!" And they got that money back in a year. In a year.
They got it back in 6 months.
Yeah, in a couple of months. I know that it was less than a year. I know it was a year or so. So yeah, that's crazy.
What was it? 2.3 bill?
2.3 billion. 2.3 billion. Like that's not even money that we can my mouth shouldn't even say the word billion. That shit, I'll never see no kind of bread like that. I can't even
Me
I-
in 10 lifetimes wouldn't
yeah,
see that.
we could see that, man, if we knew that resurrection would be a thing to where we would keep coming back. I don't know, maybe the next 50 me's would never see that type of money. That is crazy. Crazy. Or reincarnation, I should say. Well, no, I should say resurrection because reincarnation that could be a bug.
Whatever. Same shit.
Same shit. Just coming back.
Same shit, different motherfucking language.
Right. So yeah, but anyway, let's get to the next topic, and that is, and I know that we're going to talk about Rod Ferguson, but we got to talk about this Sony closed AAA VR studio because you just made a point, South. That's hit home, and you know what? I'm looking at Sony. I'm looking at Sony PlayStation podcast. And they're talking about Outer Worlds. Did Game Pass ruin it? You know what I'm saying? What Phil said. Everything else. Everybody's overlooking that Sony closed down a AAA VR studio. Exactly. What is the point? Since you are a guest, I'm gonna straight to you first. What in the world is going on? Like VR, they invested so much money into VR, billions of dollars into VR, and they have this company out here in Europe. They were supposed to be very, very talented, and they didn't even get a game off the ground, and Sony shut that shit down like they were the ATL.
And wasn't Homeboy just bragging a couple months ago when Phil made his talk about VR? How we don't care if our we make it anyways, and this and that, and what you guys are cutting studios, but no, you don't hear these guys talking about that. That's why I don't get, you know what I mean? Because listen, if you talk about something, it's fair, then it's fair. You know what I mean? If Phil came out and said something that I didn't agree with, best believe I'm gonna talk to him about it. I'm like, hey, come on, what you mean by that? Explain to me. Obviously, I'm nobody, but if I have a grievance as a consumer, I'm gonna speak my mind. But I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, well, Sony's this when I'm bothered about something that Xbox is doing, and that's they all gloss over what Sony's doing and just worry about what Xbox is doing. Okay. Why? Because Xbox is the one laying the fucking groundwork and branching out, making new roadways in the gaming. I'm sorry, but they're blazing the fucking trails. Okay, so all right, let me. Future Generation said they invested $600 million into VR. That's $400 million from fucking $1 billion. That's a lot of money. It's still a lot of money. If you round it off, then someone just did the numbers here. Well, you round it off, it'll be about a month or so ago. Didn't they do the numbers and saying that they made $2 billion off of it in the last 4 years? Yeah, they said that they've made around $1 billion. I don't know exactly. I think it may have been. Yeah, I'm just spitballing, but it said something about because someone broke down the numbers. They sold 6 million copies or whatever, and they made like $2 billion. I don't know, you know what I mean? But it was some way up there. So okay, yeah, they put a lot of money into it, but supposedly they made a lot of money back. Right. So if you made a lot of money, why are you closing down a studio? Exactly. Why you closing down a studio? And what was also grimy is the fact that there was PlayStation fans, or not fans. I will never disrespect a PlayStation fan because they're just a gamer just like we are, right? Right. The stands, the PlayStation stands. They told me in the chat when I brought this up, when I posted it on Twitter, and they said, well, they're buying either Remedy or another studio, so they have to get rid of that studio that didn't even make no games. So I'm like, so damn, I really would hate to be your boss because you're telling me you're gonna hire me to do a job in 2015. We over here we working on projects so we could get some shit ready, and you're gonna just fire us because you're gonna put money into another studio. So I mean, what's that tell you if that's their strategy? What's their strategy? So let me go to you, Lemon. What is your thinking? What's their strategy behind that if that is the case? Because there was the stance that was telling me that, hey, look, well, they're supposed to be getting Remedy, or they're supposed to be getting another studio on top of Insomniac, and so they wanted to put their focus and their money behind that studio, so they wanted to get rid of that AAA VR studio. Well, let me just say this for the record. A lot of people didn't know PlayStation from back in the days. They had over 60 studios sitting around. Which that's 60 studios of salary. And if you ain't producing nothing, they got to get rid of them. It's not really buying another studio that can project possibly another AAA title. They're sitting on a lot of studios that's not putting out no work. And if you just going to keep paying people and they ain't doing nothing, eventually with the way they're restructuring their company, somebody got to eat that. You ain't got a game out. You ain't producing nothing. Employment line, because it makes no sense. Sony has too many studios, and we always see the greatness comes from the major force. So why would you have 60 studios plus and ain't nobody putting nothing out? Because every time somebody puts something out that they don't agree with or didn't do well, Drive Club, Order the 1886, that VR sport game. Right off the bat, no productivity, game didn't work out. They got fired. Sony don't got time to be playing with their money. So this doesn't have nothing to do with another acquisition. It really has something to do with, we've been paying you a long time. You ain't producing nothing. You got to go. And for those that did produce something and it wasn't successful, unemployment line. We've been watching this for years. This is not even brand new. I don't even know why people even go into all this. This guy switching spots. This guy left Nintendo. This guy leaving Microsoft. These dudes got resumes so long in different companies of gaming. It's just that you got individuals that attach themselves with this developer, with this producer, with this
art direction, and but like I said, man, they got rid of them dudes because they wasn't doing no production, and right now Sony need production.
Hey, come on, dog. Like we're talking about, it's business 101. If you ain't producing, you ain't getting paid. You know what I mean? People, and Sony doesn't have the money to just dump. Exactly. Sony don't have the money to sit there and just dump money and get nothing in return. That's one thing. They're pretty efficient. They're pretty efficient, and that, I mean, honestly, that's a lot of Japanese companies. They're really efficient. So they'll trim the fat with a quickness.
But I mean,
you know what I mean?
To not get anything from this studio, either there has to be two problems with either that, like their budget wasn't big enough, or because maybe Sony was looking at like, hey, Astro Bot won awards and some of their other titles that isn't like, because I don't think, do they have anything that's would be considered a AAA VR game at this time?
No. Okay, the best VR game is Beat Saber, the Veda, which is not on console, and then Resident Evil 7. They still struggling for that game to bring the masses to VR. There is no big game that you must have VR to make the masses jump on VR. They still struggling with that.
Okay.
That's just what it is, man. VR is a very niche situation. And like I said, I love Resident Evil. I have it on my PlayStation and not my Xbox because in VR, it's amazing. But everybody ain't no horror generation game player either.
Yeah, now
honestly,
I've heard about
to try to attract the masses. They might need a Nintendo IP to entice people enough to consider VR. If you put Mario
you just
on
say
VR,
Nintendo, the Labo VR.
Hey, that's a good point.
I have to agree. Yeah, that's a great point.
In VR.
That would
want to be kicking blocks like your Mario and shit.
Look, I'm not into the out-herping machine, but I could definitely see I could definitely see something big with Nintendo's IPs. Yeah. Star Fox, that would be a dope game. That would be something that I would look into consider.
I agree.
Now look, I see
ain't
that
making
they say
no investment either. They tried to make us buy a cardboard box and put a screen on our face.
Now Blood and
Truth,
was
crazy.
Now Blood and Truth is a game that I heard that was pretty substantial, but I didn't hear that I never heard from anybody that was a AAA VR game.
It's a bunch of games on VR that's real good.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's real good. Right.
Really any?
You said real good, but
is there really any
AAA
bringing in the masses?
Yeah,
Vader is amazing.
Vader's AAA. Thing about it is,
Vader ain't on PlayStation.
Everybody don't want something on their face. You forgot I was like Mega. I said hell with VR.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I played VR last year at E3. I was sold. Got me a Quest. You know what I'm saying? Their thing about it is their games is no more than $35-$40. You know what I'm saying? Vader, even though Vader was episodic, I think Vader was like $15 a episode. That's not bad.
No, it's not.
It's not that bad compared you paying $60 for a dud. Beat Saber was $25. What I got? Super Hot. Ooh. Super Hot. Awesome. I got it for $14. I like Super Hot on VR, then I like it on console. Because for me to change my gun, I just got to throw my hands down and then I switch guns. But thing about it with VR and console gaming is we can go game and stream for about sometimes it's 4 to 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Take a little break here and there and there. You cannot do that in VR because your eyes gonna get tired.
But you know what, 100? Let me say this for the record. This is what really matters. And it's the end all be all. VR headsets cost as much as a console. People are not doing it. That's the problem. You know how many people play VR and say, yo, this is dope. But then when they go to the store and say, oh, I want this experience. How much is your VR headset?
Well,
$400, right?
Yeah,
$300. Oh, what does an Xbox or PlayStation cost or a Switch? Come on. It's expensive. Yeah, you can get that experience if you want to pay for it. The masses are not doing it.
Yeah, like watching movies in VR. When I got a 180-inch screen in front of me, I watch a lot of movies. And the thing about it is the best that's on VR to me.
You got a 180-inch screen?
You get
In VR,
180
in
inch screen
VR.
on VR.
Yeah, yep.
Oh,
In VR, you can do
I
that.
watch it on Amazon. On Amazon
Southbound said he
Prime.
was on his way to your crib. They were gonna watch the
Yeah,
movie.
well, no. If you had 180 inch screen, so I could watch it from my pad.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
true.
It put a 180 inch screen on
your face.
Like I say, I watch a lot of movies in VR because it's like I'm right there, and
I've been telling this boy about VR since I had it, man.
But
And I
again,
said, yeah, what-
is PlayStation VR comparable to
It's
your
not
to
no,
the VR?
not to the Quest.
Wait. You don't have the experience, 100. Wait.
What you mean?
I have
Because you don't have it.
Okay, so you
don't
got the
have it.
experience.
I
So
have
you
played
tell us
PlayStation
then.
VR.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I have it. I
Okay,
have it.
So is it
Yeah,
comparable?
but-
So
yeah,
is it
but
comparable?
I've been playing VR 100. You're a newborn
Oh, okay,
baby.
okay. We don't want to hear all this shit. We'll just break it down to the nitty gritty since you brought this up. So is it comparable to what 100 has?
Yes.
Good night, baby.
And I'm gonna tell you what it's not comparable. Graphics. But the VR experience, the VR feeling, the motion sickness, the depth of field, yes. The only thing PlayStation VR, let me finish. Let me finish. The only thing PlayStation VR is missing is the graphics. They do not have the graphics. But for a VR experience, you're getting 100% of what VR is offering. That's just the truth. Does it look good? No, it does not. That's the fact.
Okay, so what's the point of having it if it don't look good?
No, because everybody, it's cheaper. It's cheaper. It's
It was
cheaper, and it can reach more
$500.
people.
Man,
It was the price of the Xbox One X. It's going to be most likely the price of a PlayStation 5. You're telling me that, and I know that and they're going to be making a new PlayStation VR, and you're telling me
that VR is going to be state of the art.
Right.
But what I'm telling you is the PlayStation
And how much
VR you
think
can
that
get for
thing is
like
gonna be?
150.
And how much you think that thing is
You're
going
gonna
to be?
have to hook up all these cameras.
I heard that it might be
just hook up
wireless.
one camera.
I heard it's going to be
If-
wireless. I heard that the
listen.
the PlayStation VR is going to be wireless.
The PlayStation VR, all you gotta do is hook up one camera. No sensors all around your room. Even with Oculus, the first one, you had to hook up a sensor. And if you wanted the best version of Oculus, you had to buy two. If you went ACT Vive, you had to hook up cubicles and give each one power around the room. PlayStation VR is more simple down. The camera follows you real good. It is real good. It just don't look good compared to the other two.
No camera.
But
building my headset.
no, you are late to VR. That technology they're using in your VR came from Windows VR. That's where that came from with the
I'd rather
built-in.
give them 400. I'd rather give them 400.
I get you, but I'm saying let's not say the PlayStation VR is completely trash. It just don't look as good as everything else, but you get the same experience.
Well, okay, so just look at it from your perspective, though, Limit. If the PlayStation VR would be looked at as a game compared to another game, what do you think that the public would say?
You're right. I said two things. I said a pro and a con. I said a pro and a con. I said it don't look as good, but I'm telling you, when you play Resident Evil,
what would the public say?
You down there get some good ass experience
What
with
would the
what you
public
call
say?
it, with the Samsung using your phone and the damn
I got that.
Google
I got that,
Cardboard.
and I'm gonna tell you right now, it looks better than PlayStation VR the games. That's a fact.
Okay, so therefore,
graphically.
Okay, and therefore, so I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that because as a person that says I love certain games looking a certain way, it's not no big deal. So with a person that when they make their defense, that's fine. But for those people that has been on everybody's back about certain things not looking better than certain other things, then they have to live with what they've said. They can't fraud the public. Hashtag you can't fraud the public. So if that shit look like ass cheeks, then that shit look like ass cheeks. Period.
It does.
Okay.
Now that Resident Evil looks amazing. Resident Evil looks amazing. It's the work by the developer too. You got to count these developers. Because Super Hot is not a graphical game. Super Hot looks the same on everything.
Yeah, but that's cartoon shade. I don't consider that. But
I'm just telling you, Resident Evil looks amazing.
I'm gonna ask you this question: you're paying for this money. You're paying for these dildos and these cameras or whatever. You're paying $60 a game. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. They got their cheap games too. No, this game's $14, $12. Yo, listen, you don't have it. I'm telling you, you're wrong. You know, I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't know. I don't buy all those games. I buy the good games. And I'm telling you, the games don't come out at $60.
Well, if it's $40,
it does not.
If you spending an extra $40 and you hooking up to a pro, you don't get no better performance. If I hook up my Quest to my PC,
you do get better performance.
Get better performance.
Your Quest is better, but your Quest is also 3 years after. And it's taking technology from those Windows VR headsets.
Old ass tech.
I mean, come on now. Look. I get what Lemon's talking about, right? For people out there that are fans of the PlayStation VR,
we're talking about the price and affordability.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like PlayStation is affordable. Well, when they first launched, they were absolutely asinine. No way.
It was retarded, and I waited.
It was ridiculous, right? So that and just, even when I had that little thought of like, you know what? I might want to I might want to try out VR. At least go to Best Buy or something in GameStop and did just put it on. But then after I read doctors' reports about eye herpes and then seeing the price, I'm like, God. I mean, I'm not lying. No,
you're right. But you know that some people are just stupid.
Yeah, eye herpes.
That was stupid.
I don't want eye herpes. I just don't. Anyway, so I don't want eye herpes. So I mean,
or the coronavirus.
The coronavirus. Yeah. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want no PPPs. I don't want none of that. Right? So you know what? You can keep that. So all right. So anybody? Op, you've been really quiet, man. What is your thoughts about this situation with Sony closing down the studio? Look, I know Sony fans, anything and everything has got nothing to do. If it's got nothing to do with numbers or sales or anything like that, nothing concerns them, right? But they have went all in. Like somebody said, they spent $600 million into this, and then they closed down a studio. And then the excuse that I got was that, well, they closed down that studio because they were investing money into getting a new studio. So what's going on here? Should there be some cause for concern?
Well, listen, let's start from the beginning. I guess let's start with his first statement. They closed it down in the studio because they were trying to invest in new studios. If they got to play hot potato with studios to get new ones and cut the old ones, something ain't right over there with their finances at that point. If you have to do a balancing act with cutting gold of studios to acquire new ones. So using that logic, because if money's that tight for them, did they cut out all these shows to buy Insomniac at that point? Like, if we want to take it that far, we can take it even further, but it's going to be ridiculous if we do. But as far as like the VR front, this is very concerning at this point. Because yes, Sony is all in, but Lemon and Sapon are right. If the studio is producing, they got to cut the fat, but there's another angle to look at it from. Because Sony and their fans have been quoted as saying, what was it, a delay? A rush game is forever bad, but delay games, whatever. I forget the exact quote it is, but like basically you're saying it's better for them to take their time making a game. When the studio was created, 4 years ago? If I remember correctly?
Yes, 2015.
4 years ago. Okay, so created in 2015, they closed it this year.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years then. So are they saying they took too long to make a game, which is contradicting to their previous statements because they have been giving developers enough time to develop games. So are you saying it took too long to make a game at this point?
Right.
Look at Naughty Dog. Uncharted 3 came out in 2011. Uncharted 4 came out in 2016. That's 5 years at that point.
God of War.
They say it took a while. Of course, it's a different studio entirely. They're known to produce content at that point. They've been established. They're proven at that point.
I mean, let's not forget the last Guardian.
But it was like 10, 11 years at that point.
Yeah. Detroit. They showed a prototype of Detroit on the PlayStation 3.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So now we have to look at, did they take too long at this point? And if they took too long for y'all standards, then you're hypocrites at that point. Because you're all for giving developers enough time to make these games because they're making quality and making bangers at this point.
Hashtag fraud in the public, what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that's what it is at this point. So at this point, like, is Sony in? Are they in as deep as VR as we thought they are? Or are they starting to pull back a little bit? Like, who knows for sure at this point? I mean, I think
they're investing in a new headset, so they can't say they're abandoning it. They're going hardcore next generation.
They made the PSP Go, and they also made the Vita too.
Yeah.
So that's confirmed to make a new headset for next gen?
Yeah.
They confirmed that.
Yes,
they confirmed that. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Okay, they have that going.
Yeah.
So they are making a new device for going next generation, but
yeah, they are
closing a studio that's developing exclusive content for your peripheral going to the next generation is not a good look at this point.
Or maybe they showed content, and after all the years they've been working on it, Sony like, get the hell out of here, you gone. I mean,
That can happen.
we've seen that happen, Scalebound.
But
We've
Sony-
seen that happen,
But Sony,
Scalebound.
but Sony is not. Yeah, we got that. But Sony is not afraid to throw that shade though.
Oh, they not.
No,
They-
and they ain't say nothing like that. They didn't say anything like that. They just said basically pretty much is that they had to. They just pretty much had to just shut them down. Didn't give any true explanation. They were hush hush pretty much about it. At the end, it let their stands come and make assumptions, which sounded ass dumb in reality.
Right.
But
Right.
that's what we got. We didn't get no full statement. That's like the things that we've been seeing from Sony has not been Sony-esque here lately. But go ahead, Op. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, but you have a point there. So right now, we just gotta see what Sony's going to do going forward. Because you close down a dedicated studio for peripheral is not a good sign. Yes, they are making new hardware for it going forward to the next generation, but we know VR has not been a big success as they hoped it would be, and what it is at this point. It's a niche market at this point. There is some success in it, but it's not. I don't think the amount of success it has already justifies its existence right now, outside of being a wow factor for gaming, like a cool, like something having, like a nice little, I guess, feature set have on the side. Not for dedicated gaming at this point, which I doubt they ever expect to be dedicated gaming.
Nah, it's always going to be a peripheral.
Yeah.
It always will be a peripheral.
Of course. So we got to see what they're going to do going into the next generation. I'm going to give them about a couple of years with VR right now and see if they're going to drop it or not. Because they have done this before. They introduced new technology, and shortly after they will drop because it did get the reception that it needed or they wanted to. So we have to
Let's
wait and
not
see what they
forget
do.
the PlayStation VR headset sold more than the Vive and the Oculus combined.
Oh no, of course.
Let's not get crazy.
Oh, I understand,
That's
but
the
of course, you
facts.
understand it was cheaper.
It's
and they had
cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper, right?
Well,
It's cheaper.
several
More
times.
people. That's why I said if the other VR headsets could be cheaper, more people would be in. But
They
when it
will
starts
eventually.
costing as much as your console
Right.
and your graphics card, dudes are not doing that.
Exactly.
It's going to be a niche. It's going to be a niche thing or a hardcore
But
thing.
it
And
also comes into the perspective of what is the market like for these type of peripherals? Are people willing to
Right.
spend for a premium product, or they're willing to spend for something that's in the lines of affordability? Like, I mean, that's where it comes down
Right.
to. Sony came up trying to floss, do the Sony thing of what they normally do with all their products, overcharge, and people was
Yup.
like, we're not doing that. I want to get a Pro, but I'm not going to get a Pro and a damn VR. So probably what I'll do is wait till Black Friday and get a Slim, and then maybe invest into a VR. And that didn't work. Everybody just said, fuck it, we'll just get the Slim because it was cheap, and I'll just go with that. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, that's the thing, right? And
it
again,
always comes down to price, man.
It
So this
comes
is
down,
what's
it
going to
comes down to
happen
price.
in the next generation. They're going to release this new hardware. It's not going to be cheaper than the PSVR we have right now.
Right,
That's
that was
a
the
fact
other point that I was going
at
to
this
make.
point.
What's going on with your
It will be the
Megatron?
similar results when they release the PSVR this generation. So it's really not going to be. So it might not even be worth the investment at this point. If they could possibly get the same results as they did with PSVR, where they had high expectations for it, and they had to cut them like over half of what they expected. So I don't know. Like, it's looking spooky right now. It underperformed for
That's
them.
why
this generation.
Microsoft won't take that step, and they got the money. They just like it don't make sense
They've
right now to
already
do it.
they've already invested into something that didn't click. That's what these gamers are not understanding. They put a lot of money into that new version of the Kinect,
Connect,
and it failed because they
and
had
it's still the most advanced webcam ever created.
Right, and I mean, because there's companies that invest into it, but the point of the matter is, to the public, it was an absolute ridiculous point of trying to add that to the box and then charge people extra $100 when the console itself was getting ate alive because it wasn't more powerful than the PlayStation 4 or even comparable. So again, you know what I'm saying? The Kinect, I thought, as a standalone peripheral would have been fine. If they charged it for what,
Yep.
$200, $250.
They should have just took it out the damn box, and people
Right,
who want to
right,
connect,
right.
let them go get it.
Right. That's exactly. Or have a bundle to do that. They know that now, but well, you know what I'm saying, I know that they know that now. But
They
again,
better.
No, well, you're right. They better, but again, well, I don't think we're seeing any more connects or anything like that. I think they're just going right back to the nitty gritty of just making just a solid console. They're not going to do snap features. They're not going to do TV shit. They taking all that shit out. They're just going right back to 360 to the 360 OG Xbox way. For people who like those TV features, you better keep your Xbox One X or your
I
X.
don't know
Yeah,
they
I don't
better
use
have
them.
some features
I
in
don't
there,
use
or
them.
you gonna see me go on a rant? Cause I
No,
like
no, no,
my
no,
features.
no.
I don't have
No,
it.
100.
Keep your
No,
Xbox
no.
One X then.
Yeah, keep your One X because
Cause I don't use that.
Cause-
I don't
cause-
have my
Shit, but
console
I
for
need that in my
4K
life.
movies, and I
no,
surely don't have my
no.
console
I need that
to
because
watch cable
I like
TV.
how
I
like
love-
how I just cut my TV on. I cut my Xbox on and my TV cuts on, and I can just go straight to TV and do what I got to do with TV. Then I hit a
Right.
button and I go straight to games. I don't feel like hitting input
That
buttons.
that's
It's
from
input button shit is getting too old.
Yeah, I get it. 100. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. I love that. I love that about the Xbox One. But so many people have made, and I've said this in my streams here lately, when people be bitching and complaining about games, and then they want people to patch them and do this and do that with these games, and then next thing you know, they'll abandon the games, and then people like me that hasn't played in a while come back, and the game feels like it's completely broke. Like what the hell happened? Because they were listening to the louder voice. And that's exactly what I think Xbox is doing. When you see the back of the ports of that Xbox X, of that Series X, it doesn't
But you
have
tell you
any of the it
but
doesn't
that is a
have those things as an X,
prototype.
man.
That is
I
a prototype.
I would hope that they would
You
keep
can
that feature,
add
but
a
I
whole
don't think
bunch
they
of
did.
stuff to that thing.
I don't think they did 100. I really think that they
Why?
took that
You
out
would
and they're
name
just
it
going right to the
prototype.
box.
You might
Why
make
would
your
you name
video
it
right now
prototype?
100. It's done.
I think
Do
it's
it
done.
now. Do
I
it
think
next.
I
Matter
think
of
it's
fact, do
done.
it tomorrow.
Why?
I'll watch it.
Yeah, you better make that video tomorrow because I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
done.
over.
I think it's
We
done.
talked to somebody that said Google Stadia was gonna blow up.
Yeah, man, look, Google Stadia
Why
is
you
not
gotta
dead.
throw my man under the
Hey,
bus?
man, Google
We not
Stadia is
talking about
not dead
Stadia. We
yet.
talking about
AT&T,
Xbox. Why do you
anybody
always
can
doing
get it.
that?
Hey, Google Stadia is not going
Anybody can
nowhere,
get it.
son. It's not going
Okay, Mega,
nowhere.
stop. It's over.
Okay,
Stop.
it's not over.
Don't drown.
It's
Don't
not-
drown in the mud,
Hey,
King
we
Mega.
just-
Just go okay 100.
Okay,
He
hold
Okay.
on,
feeling the quicksand.
We just made the point. We just talked about how much money that these companies have, that these big companies have, and it means nothing to them. They're here for the long run. So they'll take their lumps and then they'll progress. Anyway, we're not going to go there. We're jumping topics. But other than that, listen, to me, it's a serious situation. It's not dire, but it is something to question because everybody and their grandmas, mamas, aunties, nephews, neighbors, you know what I'm saying, went crazy about Scalebound when Xbox canceled it. Wasn't a studio closing, but it was they shut down the game. They canceled it, right? Everybody went crazy. It actually gave a bad vibe and everything. Sony has closed down multiple studios within the last few years. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Think about this for a second. Drive Club Studio, Finito, Kitans, gone. I just played and beat what was that game with the werewolves and shit? The Order 1886. That company gone. Finito, Kitans. You know what I'm saying? Now you got they closed down another European studio out there, or another studio in Europe. That one's gone. Finito, Kitans. Then you got this studio that's closed down. Then
Wait, the studio made Order 1886? They're gone?
Well, they got Sony don't have them no more. They're independent.
Okay, you're saying closed down. I'm thinking like they're shut down.
I should say closed down. But the people who made Drive Club, they're shut down. But the people Sony just said no, we're not doing anything else with you with the what is that? Ready at Dawn? No, we're done. We're done.
Okay, so they're just separate partnership.
Yeah,
Okay,
my bad on that. But they also didn't they get rid of the company that did Planet Side? They got rid of them too. So again, there's all these closings that's happening with was one of the most successful eras in the PlayStation's history, second only to the PlayStation 2, and you guys are telling me there's no pause for concern? Not one? Not one. That means that you guys ain't trying to hear shit. That's something. Listen, they ain't revealed nothing yet. They're not going to E3. They're not going to the other events to show off their movies. People that got demoted. People that got
The
fired.
reason I hear is
what's
they
going
won't
on?
show anything because they want to see the price of the Xbox Series X before they say something.
Now,
If you
that's where we
got
going.
confidence in your product, you ain't got to wait for nobody.
Thank you. I was waiting for somebody to give me that bone so I can light their ass up with that too. How is it that you are the market leader you're the market leader. You have the market share. You are the face of gaming right now. When people see commercials, they see PlayStation. When people go around and go to movies, they see PlayStation. PlayStation this, PlayStation that. And you over here waiting for a company that the stands will tell you or isn't worthy, shouldn't be paid attention to, should be just fade away in memory. You're waiting on that company to dictate the market? Come on.
Assume they're
Talk to
waiting on
me.
them. They have done this in the past, but they didn't mention it directly.
I get that, but explain this to me. Sony with their aggressiveness, and I understand that they were very calculated with what they did in 2013.
Mhm.
But
it really wasn't. They just knee-jerk reaction.
Right, but again, no, they waited too. They stated that they were happy about what they could do. They were happy about the price point because because they knew that they could undercut Xbox at that point and then run with, hey, we're not DRM, all this other shit. They just everything went good with them. So, but on this situation, they on the mountaintop. They're number one. This generation ain't the 360 generation. So why would you want to wait to see what's going on with Xbox so you can do it? Yeah, it's smart, it's calculated, but this isn't the same aggressive Sony, the Jack Tritton Sony that everybody keeps trying to talk up. This is a whole nother different Sony, Jack. And to me, that's something to question. Not to say they're in trouble or anything like that, but that's something to question, in my opinion. People in the chat, please let me know if I'm right. Anybody else on this panel, do you think that I'm wrong?
You're not necessarily wrong. There's this shakeup that's been happening the past 2 years right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitely shifted their behavior at Sony right now, because they used to be really gung ho, I guess, real boisterous previously, but now with Jim Ryan taking the helm, I believe is him. He is the head now, I think. I can't remember who it is exactly, but with him in charge right now, he is definitely shifting their tune a lot lately, because now they're being a little more reserved. They're holding back stuff. They play their cards real close to their chest at this point, and they're, in a sense, they're being real cowardice compared to how they used to be right now. Because like, look at their shows, they're not doing it anymore. They've always done before. They announce games pretty early, but because that's all they have at this moment, nothing else is ready. They have nothing else to show, so they have to cancel their shows at this point. Now, on top of this, they're not even talking about. They're barely talking about their next gen console, which is what we're in February right now, 10 months away, or less than 10 months away from releasing at this point. We have a price. We don't know what it look like. All we have is rumors, speculations from Restar and these are bullshit websites right now. So there is concern to have at this point, because right now they're acting like bitches with the PlayStation 5. You can say it's going to sell crazy on launch, what they both are going to. That's given at this point. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't negate the fact how they're acting right now and how they have been acting the past couple of years. So we can all assume they're waiting on Xbox to announce their prices, so they can better have an idea what they should do going forward, so they can have a successful launch as possible. Because Xbox, they have room to fuck around. They shouldn't, because they really spent this entire generation winning people back over. But they really could, from a financial standpoint, if they wanted, they could fuck around with the launch. But they really shouldn't at this point, because it's going to hurt them. Sony, they can't afford to. Yes, they are dominant. They are a market leader. They have dominated this entire gen. All these bullshit narratives and like perspectives everybody has with them right now. But they really cannot fuck this up, because it will be not, I won't say impossible, but it will be incredibly difficult for the pull this out of this hole that they already pulled their stuff out at the beginning of this gen for the PS3. Because I don't think they can afford another fuck up like that. No. So they really have to play this smart. And yes, that's going to cost them to shift their tune at this point. They have to be a little gun shy. They really have to pay attention to what Microsoft is doing going forward, and then plan accordingly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they have, and another thing that they got to do is they got to test the temperature in the room. That's why they've had some of their surveys and things like that to see how PlayStation fans are going to react to their new strategy of how to move forward with PlayStation. And that's something that PlayStation fans themselves haven't really had to deal with, is the fact of realizing that gaming is now going to go to a whole nother plateau, different than what going beyond the box. That's something that PlayStation fans is going to have to deal with. Xbox fans has already been acclimated to it. Nintendo fans, they've been acclimated to it because regardless of what I mean, like Xbox calls it, calls it a handheld. I call it a console because you can still hook it up and play on your TV. But it's a hybrid, regardless of the.
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid, and regardless of how you look at it, it has got Nintendo fans comfortable of saying, look, I can pull this thing out, I can play it on the toilet, I can play it in the car, I can play it on my TV. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to put your games on PC, I'm cool with that too. The more the merrier. More people playing Nintendo games, the happier we are. That's what Xbox fans, that's what Xbox want to get their fan base for Xbox games to be. Is like, look, don't even trip. If you a console cat, we got you. If you on PC, we got you. If you want to play some shit on somewhere else, we got you on your phone, whatever, we got you. Just as know that you still the Xbox isn't going nowhere. You're still amongst the ecosystem. It's going to take PlayStation. PlayStation got to test the temperature in the room to see what's going to happen. How the fan base is going to react after being so hardcore about old school gaming. That's to me is the biggest challenge, I think, and maybe that's why they're taking a little bit longer as well. I don't know. I don't know. Anybody else want to touch on this before we go to the next topic?
No,
they're really in a tough jam right now because. Go ahead, Lemon. I'm sorry.
Oh no, he.
No, I was saying I ain't had nothing to say because we're doing pretty good with the time.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. What you saying?
No, I was just agreeing with you. They're in a pretty tough jam right now with their fans and how they bred them how to think over the generations right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a complete 180 on them. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for them going forward.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, so let's get into talking about Rod Ferguson. If I'm saying, well, I'm sure everybody is already knew or heard that's listening right now. But if you haven't, Rod Ferguson, the lead guy at Coalition, the makers of Gears of War, left Xbox the other day. I believe it was Thursday. And he made the announcement. Well, I think he's going to be leaving here sometime in March. Yeah. So he made a statement saying that he was getting ready to leave and go to Activision / Blizzard with Mike Ibarra. Now, I'm I'm saying again, I'm going to wait till everybody gets done to get my thoughts about it. I'm going to go to you first, 100 on this one. What was your thoughts about Rod saying he was leaving? Is this a big, huge loss for the coalition, for the Xbox just in general? And what do you think could have been the reason why he wanted to leave?
All right, man. Y'all people be taking this stuff out of proportion. People leave jobs all the time. I work in a corporate life. I have saw within, I could say this month, about 6 people leaving. Didn't leave, left because they had a different opportunity. They wanted to do new things. Rob been doing gear since the beginning.
15 years.
So sometimes you want some fresh air. You're just getting like, man. And he said, I'm leaving it in great hands. It's not like it's not like Microsoft is running me off or nothing like that. Mikey left because he wanted to go do other things. You got put ahead of something. You running a whole goddamn company. That's who would want to take that challenge and that opportunity. That is a perfect example of, you know what I'm saying? If the Lakers need a GM, I'd love to be a GM. But I'll go to somewhere else to be a president. It's not wrong with doing that. And people got to understand that, man, Gears ain't going nowhere. You're going to get another Gears. Gears ain't going to sleep. They keep on adding content to Gears. So he just wanted to go. You think about this. This is different from when people leave Sony and they leave Microsoft. They thank Microsoft. Saying we had a wonderful time. Wish the best. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm leaving this in good hands. When you see somebody leave, you ain't heard shit from Sean Layton. They didn't put him they must have NDA'd his ass to the end. They must have told him to be quiet. But no one wants to talk about that. We hear somebody from Nintendo. What? Hey, I had a wonderful time. When Reggie left, I had a wonderful time. I got all this money. I want to do something else in life. You may want to start a restaurant. Just because people go, the wheels turn. When Bungie left Microsoft, did Halo quit? No. I'm gonna start another studio. If you want to stay, you want to stay. If you don't, you're welcome. We good. It's think about it is we all replaceable, including me, in life. You know, and sometimes is you see the talent. You know what I'm saying? He probably overseeing, he don't have to put in the hours or something. I heard he's starting on he's gonna work on Diablo and stuff like that. People love Diablo. Maybe he put his little twist on Diablo. And we ain't had a Diablo in a while. So it's not like they go to companies, they don't be friends. These people still kicking with each other. People from Bungie still kicking with people from, they right down the street from each other. Just because you leave a company don't mean that you do not affiliate. I don't work for the airline anymore, but hey, I still affiliate with people. So people got to get out of that. It's not yes, you know, you want Rob there, but Rob been there. You know, and Rob want to do something different, and you should back him what he want to do. You should thank him for all the great times. You know, you see little Cliffy trying to sneak himself in. Can I be a special advisor? But that's a different story. But, you know, it's
What
cool.
do you think about what Cliffy said? What do you think about that?
Man, Cliffy on some bullshit.
Oh,
Cliffy
come on, no.
there.
Cliffy was soliciting the hell out of himself, though.
Cliffy could have been right there. Cliffy could have been right there with Ferg. When he wanted to go do Lawmaster, he didn't want to answer. He remember, they didn't want nothing to do. He was right there with them when they didn't want nothing to do with Gears no more.
No, he didn't want to do it Microsoft and try to disrespect the brand, but okay.
Now he won't in.
He ain't getting in.
He won't in. And I wouldn't.
You don't think he's going to get in?
No, they're not going to. He talked too much. He disrespected Microsoft.
One is you don't need.
Well, I'll give him his job back. He need that money right now.
No, he wouldn't have the same. He wouldn't have the same. No, he don't need no money.
No, he need it.
No. He don't need it. He got bread. He got long bread. He don't have to work ever again. He made his money. He made his money off of VR, actually.
Yo, 15 Lamborghinis. Somebody got to pay that insurance.
No, he got plenty of money to pay that
Ferrari, excuse me.
Yeah,
he can downsize to 5. It don't make a difference.
Yeah, he can go ahead and
he
can downsize to 7. Yeah, he'll be fine. He got plenty of bread. Cliffy don't need no money.
Yeah, so you get
Cliffy don't need no money.
He got some assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got some assets.
And he don't want to be in Rod Ferguson's shoes. He wants to be a consultant. That's different.
I don't want him back. Stay where you at because the blue disc is better. Stay where you at.
He didn't say
that. He didn't say that. Lawbreaker.
He
didn't say that. Okay, the dude from Respawn said it, but they all in the same boat.
Woo!
Bye. Don't come back.
I like to think about it. I like to see some new talent.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see.
Give me somebody young, fresh, and hungry, like he used to be. Not cocky, old, and dumb. Facts.
Yeah. So
his replacement would be the guy that stepped away from Rockstar.
From Rockstar, I think that dude want to step away, be from his family. He got that long money too. I think sometimes these guys, people don't understand the hours in the sacrifice. That's what y'all see if you look at really at the game at the end credits, and they thinking everybody and their mama and their grandma and everything. That's because they ain't around like that. They're missing basketball games, softball games, volleyball games, soccer games, having dinner for a second and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And just go to sleep. They're working hours on this because that's their life. That's their life. Some of them lost wives and all type of stuff. I think that guy just need a break. The dude left Rockstar, needed a break. And he's been at it for a while, and it's not like he's hurting for money. He's not hurting for anything. Now, if he get that love and feeling back, my thing is I want some new blood in now. Some new thinkers.
But they got a lot of new blood.
Yeah,
they hired a ton of people.
Yeah, I'm talking about when I say new thinkers, let me see your mind. Let me get like a Rams coach, even though I don't like the Rams. Let me go find me a McVay.
Watch your mouth. You want our coach though.
No, I don't want him. I got
Don't y'all two start.
Okay. Go
But
ahead.
what's wrong with finding a McVay that's a genius? Something like that. I'd rather try to give the young bucks a chance because you know what I'm saying. The older guys, they've been in the game so long, it's going to be eventually they're going to do something different and they're going to want to do something else.
If you want new blood, pay attention to what Bethesda's going to do with their smaller studios going forward. Because I can't remember which ones, but the ones they announced at E3 last year. One was Ghostwire, Tokyo Ghostwire.
Yep.
There was another one, I can't believe it was the Black developers. And I believe they're a little bit newer in the game. So
Oh yeah, because we saw that game out there at Bethesda. That game looked pretty interesting from the Black developers.
So we got to pay attention to them going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about that. Let me hit the chat again. Oh no. Okay, no, I don't know where that popped up like that again. Never mind, my bad. It was the same thing. I don't know what that did. The super chat. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Op.
Oh yeah, as far as like Ralph Ferguson leaving, like this did hurt because it came out of nowhere. Like it just hit out of nowhere. Like I wasn't expecting this at all. But as far as being doom and gloom, I was a little bit worried at first, but then after a while I settled down. Like okay, it does suck, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of Gears. Though I will say is, I wouldn't be surprised if it came out a little bit later now, because people gotta understand Ralph Ferguson. He's probably the most underrated developer in this industry right now, as far as his leadership and efficiency right now. This man got a studio to create literally 5 games in 2.5 years. 343 is not even doing that with Halo. They got close, but they haven't done that. Halo 4 came out in 2012. Halo 5 came out in 2013. No, 2015, if I remember correctly. So that's 3 years. So Coalition cranked out pretty much 5 games in 2.5 years at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can say Gears 5 had a rough launch, but we know the issues where that came from the moving systems and mechanics to the server side as far as like running AI, UI, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so that's always going to be a little rough.
Then Game Pass as well. That was really the first game that jumped to pull a lot of interest from people that were users of Game Pass.
Exactly. So close to no devs have these leadership and efficiency that Ralph Ferguson has right now. So wherever he's going to go, he's going to kill it. That's a given at this point. So this is a big loss for Xbox. But I'm pretty interested who they'll find to fill his role at Coalition. They might hire someone from within to fill his role because that's usually what happens. But as far as the guy leaving Rockstar, it would be cool. It would be a good move for Xbox to get him over here. But I don't know if they want to put him in a Coalition if that's what they wanted, if that's what they're going for. They might try to give him his own studio, but that's going to be tough because got to open up another entire studio for someone else as well. And they've already done the initiative at that point. But it would be dumb to put him in initiative because there's too much talent at that studio right now. There's too many chefs in the kitchen at that point. Like they're just it's almost overkill at this point.
I was just
the amount of talent they have
yeah.
initiative. Like it's crazy right now. So I think, but 100's probably got a point there. He's probably pretty much done with the game right now. He probably wants to retire at this point. I won't be surprised if he does, because people are getting their hopes up that he'll come over to Xbox. Like I would ease off on this a little bit. Like this is a coincidence. They both leaving at the same time, which is in March. But I would just wait and see what happens and not get our hopes up too high, because we can assume and yell Phil to make a move towards him. But at the end of the day, he can say no. He's not forced to say yes, come over to Xbox. For all we know, he could go over to Nintendo for all we know. And he could probably get Microsoft and Sony the middle finger behind closed doors, but we will never know that for sure unless it's leaks. So I think people just wait, just ease up a little bit. Don't push much gas on it right now. Just see what the dude wants to do, because he's been working at Rockstar for what since the beginning, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Might have been. So he's probably just done. He's probably tapped out at this point, but we won't know until he says anything. But I'll just wait and see what happens going forward and not jump to conclusions or get my hopes up too high.
Okay, so all right, Infernal Lock, he said coronavirus delay Xbox and PlayStation 5. That was the first thing that we talked about on the show. So I don't know if you caught that or not. I don't know if you got some information while we doing the show, if they said that it will be delayed or not, but we've already talked about it and discussed it. So that was the first thing that we talked about on the show. But thanks, we definitely appreciate it. So and big shout out to our boy Jazzy Noop. for Don being up in here, you know what I'm saying, and for everybody, other Zinc and everybody else that's be coming up in here, man, showing support, Daka the Vaca, the Daka Vaca, whatever, just call him Vaca, fuck it. He said his daughter always cracks up at me when I mess it up. Let me be country. And then just you know what I'm saying, Chris Hart's in the building, you know what I'm saying, he's back doing his thing. And then there's everybody else that's in here, man. I know my boy Street, So Shady, you know what I'm saying, Al Lopez, man. Thank you guys so much, man, for coming up in here and listening to our crazy ass talk about these games. So Lemon, what is your thoughts about this, man? I mean, is it a huge loss for the coalition? I mean, is this something that people need to be taken back as a serious loss for the Gears franchise?
It's always a loss when you lose great talent, but we do know we have faith in the whole coalition, and the coalition is not Ferguson by itself. It's a collective. No, I'm not worried about Gears. I'm happy for him. He's taking an opportunity that's most likely paying him more money, which he was getting paid already. But I'm happy for him, and to all his new endeavors, I hope he has put his gaming on a game that I love over there. And listen, it's not a big loss, man. These guys, he's been with Microsoft for numerous years, 15. And you got to have faith in the team he left behind. Because if he leaves, when he leaves and coalition fall apart, then we have something to worry about. But I don't feel no worries. I don't feel anything. Just and wish him the best at the end of the day. It goes for anybody that leaves that's great talent. Nobody wants to lose great talent, but it is what it is. Happy for take advantage of those opportunities and go get that bread. Facts.
No doubt. Yeah, and it's just like what 100 said, man. I mean, it just could be one of those things to where, he's been working on Gears for a long time, a lot of hours, and Op said he was really efficient, which, I mean, you just look at how fast that Gears 4 came out. Well, you see how when Gears 4 came out, and then it just jumped in there. Here's Gears 5, and Gears 5 is better than in every single way possible. Graphically, mode wise, it just like I said, that's why I should have been a nominee for Game of the Year last year, because it just gave so much, and the story was fire. It gave you just compelling story, give you a lot of twists. I mean, it was just a lot of great work with Gears 5, and that could be another thing too, is that I didn't hear anybody else say, is that he alluded to this as well, that he knew that Gears wasn't going to be nominated for anything or get put on a pedestal. And he knew that he put in the hard work. And I think that he might be tired of that bashing and just kind of want to just do something else. Maybe just jump.
He's probably tired of the fan base of all we know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right. Like
bullshit this time.
Right, because the media, and this is, and I know that there'll be some people that's listening and say, oh, he's going after the media. But, I mean, let's be real. They have been after shooters all of this generation. They have been downplaying the significance to shooter games, and basically calling people who play shooters on a regular basis Neanderthals, pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so Gears that put a lot of changes. All the bitching and complaining about there needs to be more changes. So they give their own God of War-esque type of style to it by giving it like a semi-open world, doing different things than you wouldn't normally see in the Gears game. And they still shitted on it. It wasn't good enough. Because it's still a bro shooter. And they even gave a female protagonist. And then you had those people that, why you put a female in there, that type of shit, whatever, right? So it could be one of those things where he's just sick and tired of just this ridiculous. Everybody is bitching to just want to bitch. They just want to have a voice, to just be noticed, and he's just like, look, let me jump on the PC and let me do something else. Let's go on with Blizzard. Let me go with my homeboy Mikey Barra, and let's work on something great with Diablo. And I don't blame him for that. And you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, he had a huge title. He was the head guy at Coalition for one of the big, for $1 billion franchise. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's like almost like it's a parallel, like he's just jumping over to Diablo, which I know that's a huge property as well. So, but it's still, I think it's just more sense. Maybe he just wants something fresh and new, like 100 said, and just want to kind of get away from from this certain fan base that just wants to destroy everything instead of look at the positives of what they did with Gears. And so, and with somebody jumping in, I have no idea. People want Cliffy B. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I can see is this: is that if people already that was saying on social media, Gears is dead on arrival, things like that. All you got to go back and look at is God of War. That's what I'll say about that. Because when Jaffe got put off of God of War and they gave it to Corey, and I was very skeptical of what this new approach to God of War was, but it worked. So why would this new strategy, or if whatever that this new person is going to take over to do with Gears, why wouldn't that work as well? Maybe it's just time for new blood. Maybe maybe that they could do something, or maybe it could be a total fucking disaster and they could ruin the franchise. Who knows? I don't know. I just know that Gears ain't gonna go nowhere, even if they have a bad Gears. I mean, we looked and seen a lot of people didn't like Judgment, but that didn't stop Gears from still rolling and being successful. So I don't know. I wish Rod all the success in the world. You know what I'm saying? I know he's going to do a great job out there, and we'll just see. I mean, people will tell me one thing. They'll say, hey, look, these things happen all the time, and then you hear on one side, well, these companies need to be in trouble. So we'll see. We'll see. At the end of the day, I will agree with Op that that Gears it will be a while before we see another Gears, which I think that's a good thing. I mean, we don't want to be totally oversaturated with Gears and other games to come out every other year when there's other studios that's going to be pumping out more games. So, all right, let's get on to our last topic of the night, and let's talk about 100's man. I don't even know what that dude's name is. I forgot what his name is. I see Bloody needs to be here for that. And that is the man from Platinum Games. They come out and they ask people for, I call it a Kickstarter, but a crowdfunding for an old game that was on Nintendo 101. And
Wonderful 101.
Yeah, Wonderful 101, which is what's like it's the part 2 of Beautiful Joe or something like that, or something different. Oh, don't they got Beautiful Joe in it?
No.
Okay.
He looks like him.
Oh, he looks like him. That's the only thing. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games on the Wii U. I'm happy. They bring that back.
Played it. I just thought that was the same guy. I thought that was Beautiful Joe. But anyway, regardless. So anyway, they talking about wanting to do a port for it, or want to make the game, but they didn't have the funding for it. So they basically pulled a Shenmue 3. And they asked people to pay for it. Well, it was a huge success. They asked for, I think, $500,000, and they got
$1 million.
They got over $1 million right now. So now, our man from Platinum Games is coming out, and he's also saying that he wants to be independent, and he wants to make an independent game. Wants to do some stuff and he might want to go into crowdfunding again to see if people will pay him to start paying for other games. And then on top of all that, he comes out and he says, hey, Microsoft, we would love to work on Scalebound. How about you let us get a second crack at that? Or how about you give us the IP? How about we can buy that IP off of you? So, I'm going to go to you first, Op. Is this man full of shit or not? Give me the Op, because I'm about to go ignorant on this. Op ran off. Op ran off. I wanted him to be the voice of reason, but now I got to go to 100. 100, is this man full of shit or what? Or is this man got a legitimate reason to be asking people for fucking money when they live better lives than most people that's giving them money? Is he full of shit?
Man, Platinum, I done lost all respect for them, man. They over here e-bagging after you done took the church's money, making Neho and all these other games. You know what I'm saying? You trying to say that you broke? You know what I'm saying? You know what you supposed to be making Bayonetta 3?
Team Ninja made Neo. You talk about Nier Automata.
Yeah, Nier Automata.
Yeah.
You supposed to be doing all this stuff, but you want to take but you want somebody to give you something or buy back. I'm Microsoft. I ain't giving you Nathan. If you want this IP, I need 80% of your company. That's called AKL hostile takeover. That means you might as well be under me because I'm gonna be ruling you anyway. And no, and like I say, it's they looking for sympathy. They shouldn't. That wonderful one-on-one. You shouldn't be looking for no crowdfunding. You know, in the game, the craziest thing is the game as hard as almost done. They talking about the game come out this year.
Which
So,
makes to me
to
that
me,
the game is a
what
port.
you need
It's a
all this
port.
money?
It ain't gonna have no enhancements or nothing.
So what you need this port? What you need this port for? Then that's what I want to know. What do you need that port? I mean, what do you need the people's money? You taking the people's money? What you doing with the people's money? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that, and people accept that, and people donate. I wouldn't have gave them a dime. I wouldn't even have gave them a half of a penny. Like I said, they got money. It's not like they got all these contracts, but see, they go do stuff for. Think about how you gonna make it, and you don't even throw it on Xbox. You throw it on every platform but Xbox. Why? Why? Because they would probably in the background, Microsoft lawyers came and got some of that money back for what you did with Scalebound, but now you want to work on it. Why don't you work on something that you didn't promise me up 10 years, but you was doing all these other games and you was hooking everybody else up, but since we're based out in the West, you know what I'm saying, not the West Coast, the West, you do us wrong. And then people jump. They ridicule Phil. Now, you see what Phil did. See, Phil pulled a boss move. That's what bosses do. I'm tired of giving up money. Give me everything you got of this title. I might figure somebody else to do it. It's mine. Do what I want to do. But I tried to come to you. But they didn't do Xbox bad in the 360 days. It's like the Xbox now. You're doing as bad. Well, what did the Xbox fan do to you? What do you do to you? That's what I don't understand, and I think that's pretty messed up. Platinum playing this stuff, and then they want to act like a victim. You ain't the victim. You did something wrong. You ain't no victim. Victim of what? And you know what? It's gamers. Let me put my green rag to the side, put it in my pocket. As us as gamers, we all should need to be put appalled about this. Like, how you gonna do this and that? Then you get, AKA the pony. Oh, it's gonna be on PlayStation. Oh, it's gonna be a PlayStation exclusive. When? Because Microsoft not giving up that IP no time soon. And Platinum, I believe Microsoft 343 worth more than Platinum.
Of course they are.
Oh yeah.
So you think I'm gonna give up? I'm gonna give up something that you want. If you want it, I'm gonna hit you over the head with it.
They can't afford it.
I want royalties. I want all this stuff. You can even make it multi-plat. I don't even care. But you gonna pay me. Then they want to we're trying to help out because we want to publish our games. We wanted, I forgot, better it's only, we want to do it, but then they throw Sony and Sega under the bus.
They threw Nintendo and Sega under the bus. Yeah, they threw them both under the bus. Yeah.
They threw them under the bus. Like, they won't give us this RP. You didn't pay. They paid for this. Why somebody got to give you something? Ain't nobody giving you nothing in this world. You got to earn it.
That shows you that they was money hungry the whole time.
Exactly. And also, Don in the chat says it's strange that they can't find publishers. You know what I'm saying? Wonder why. And that's a legitimate question. I mean, look, Tencent is buying everybody. Like, they're getting everybody. You mean to tell me that Tencent wouldn't want to get a very talented studio like Platinum on board with them? And I understand that they said that they want to be independent, but again, you got to ask people for money in order for you to start making independent games? Lemon, what give me your thoughts about this.
You know, I don't be vulgar. Platinum Games could kiss my ass.
Facts.
They can kiss my ass, kiss Microsoft ass, kiss all the people ass that they disrespected with doing that to Microsoft. How dare you ask for an IP that you was getting money for and making games with Microsoft money? You have the audacity to open your mouth to ask for an IP that you can't afford, that you disrespected a company from the West, that gave you more money than you've ever seen in your hitman's developer life, ever. And you take that money and bless everybody else with it, and you got the nerve to ask to use the IP, and we buy it from you. Buy it. Buy it. You lucky Microsoft don't buy y'all and fire everybody. It's disrespectful what they did. Now, the wonderful 101 thing, the crowdfunding, I don't know what's going on with them financially. They just brought out a couple bangers. Astro Chain, they redid Bayonetta 1 and 2 for the Switch.
They made 3
big sales.
They made 3 for the Switch.
And I'm saying, okay, stick to your Japanese roots because that's who you rock with. But then you're going to talk about Scalebound. Scalebound? You should never mention them words again. Matter of fact, you should drop it from your Japanese vocabulary. Scale and bound should not be in your vocabulary because they're disrespectful. This shows you how foul they was in the beginning. So for all y'all people that went out there and ridiculed Microsoft for canceling the game, like Phil said, the game was just not good. The reason it ran so good at E3 because Microsoft took that demo and redid it in their studios for it to run and look like that. The game was horrid. It was in bad development situations.
Yes.
Facts.
Randar Thor was the first one to tell me. He said, man, that game is not good. Not good at all. I said, no, Rand, don't be telling me that. Because I made a video because everybody was jumping on Rand about certain things that was going on, and I was defending Rand, like, no, I mean, Rand knows Phil, he's in the know, he knows shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just like Southbound, Megatron and them, Tim Dog, they know, you know what I'm saying? And Rand came to me first, like, hey, bro, we was in the chat on Xbox. He says, no, man, he said, I don't think that game is coming out. I said, don't tell me that. I'm so excited for it. Don't you do that to me. Don't you do that to me. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
But
Don't you dare do it.
It's blatant disrespect,
man.
He said
that game was so bad. It was so bad they had no choice. He said, man, they spent all that money, they asked for more money, and they were being lazy with the shit. He says, Phil can't be spending that money like that with them. He's got people watching him. And at that time, Phil didn't even have the job yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He over here got to show and prove.
He had to make a decision.
Everybody
blame Phil. Phil ain't making that damn game, but he's the boss, and he's on the preliminary status. If he sees something not working, he got. First of all, he got to put his name on it to say keep going. He ain't putting his name on that. And stealing money.
Time when Sachi was like a hair trigger away from just getting rid of the whole Xbox division.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
he's the reason we exist right now.
Right, Phil.
Come on.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I mean, the wonderful 101 thing, man, I'm a big fan. I was wondering when Nintendo would even invest in bringing that title over. But then you go and you ask some money and you putting it on every console and PC without Microsoft. But you're going to ask for Scalebound in the same goddamn voice.
Right.
They can kiss my ass. And I don't get on here and be cursing. They can kiss my ass. I don't give a damn.
Fuck them.
That's ridiculous.
All right.
That is just straight a slap in the face. That is a slap in the face. Y'all don't run nothing over here. And now you out here e-begging, a.k.a. 100 status. They out here e-begging 100. Ain't that what you say about these YouTubers? I don't e-beg. They e-begging. Since when you need money to make a game? Since when? You just dropped a banger. Astral Chain is a banger on the Switch. Why you need money? Why you gotta get crowdfunded? Why you can't get a publisher? Something's going on. Something bigger than what we know. But I know one thing: you ain't getting Scalebound, sucker. That's a fact. I would never buy it. I don't care what. Phil could kumbaya and decide to change his mind. But you know what? Every man got a backbone. Phil ain't no sucker. You ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. You didn't hear nothing from Microsoft. They probably was laughing like, this dude crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now. They lucky I support them for after what they did because they got the whole Xbox community charged. When the Xbox community saw Scalebound, you had PlayStation people. I'm coming over. We coming. And what happened? When that game got canceled, they blamed Phil. Oh, it's Phil's fault. Mm-hmm. That's what they did. Nah, man, you caused too much. You caused too much of a ripple in the gaming community, man. Kiss my ass. Let me go use the bathroom and don't wipe and then come back and kiss my ass.
All right, so you're gonna be last because you're gonna have to be the voice of reason because I told you, because this touches me in a whole different way of Blake because I didn't even add this part. You guys don't even know this part. Me and Op do. Well, I put it in the GRG DMs, but I don't know if y'all paid attention to it. But it goes a little bit deeper than that. I got a problem with people that's so fucking arrogant that they act like they shit don't stink. And so, what's his name? Kamiya. He comes out and pull the post and says, if you hit me up, if you come on Twitter here and you come and try to ask me about games or anything pertaining to anything, and you don't do it in my native language, I'm gonna block you. My block button is my block. What do you say? My block button or my block something is large. I don't have time for you insects. That's what he said. That's on Twitter. Go look his shit up. And then so there was people that was hitting him like, whoa. Why are you calling people who invest money into your product? You are e-begging. You are begging people for money. And you probably driving in the flyest car or living in a nice ass crib. And people that live in lesser means give out their money, their hard-earned money to support your ass, and you're gonna call people insects because they're not talking to you in Japanese on social media. Fuck that dude, man. Real talk. Like, I swear to God, man.
He better go get Google
Man,
Translate.
like I saw that. I was like, no, he just said that on purpose. And then this was the thing that blew my mind, right? Because there was other people that was heated. Naturally, because that's not how you talk to the public. You don't talk to you want people you want people to invest into your product. You don't talk to people like that. But then what was the shocking thing was that, hey, I want to be part of the Inside Gang. And they were being Inside Gang, yay. Listen, young kids, have some self-esteem about you. That's just like that Kojima shit. Like I was saying, when I saw my boy Super G get dissed like that by Kojima, I already was suspect about the dude. But then when he comes out and he disrespects my motherfucking country, and then you gonna think that I'm gonna buy your trashy ass shit, you got me fucked up, homie. You got me twisted. I ain't buying nothing from you ever again.
Bruh.
And I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm right there to hold my wallet for any platinum games. If there's not an apology or something going out, or if he don't stop and chill on trying to ask people for money to get his shit going, I might have to put him on that Kojima list. I really am serious about this. You cannot come out and start asking people for money. That's something that is dangerous. You can do that in the PC space. That's open platform. You can do whatever you want to there. And understand there's smaller developers that's hungry, that wants to get a chance to get a leg up and want to get their game advertised. But you're an established, huge studio. You have award-winning games. You have games that people love and covet. You don't need to, and it's like what Don said, and I know that there's other people in the industry that's thinking the same way. Why is it that this man and his team is not getting the funding that they want if they want to do this? Or if they want to go independent, why the hell do you want to ask people for more money? And then after seeing everything else that's involved, you're going to call people insects, and then you're going to sit here and have the audacity to say, well, I need crowdfunding, but yet I want to buy Scalebound. I want Scalebound from you. Or maybe, better yet, hey, how about you give us some more money so we can railroad you? And so we can go ahead and use this money to go make a game and then claim that it's independent from us, but it's really Microsoft's money again. That's what it all sounds like to me. It sounds all shady. Sounds all shady. Bruh, I cannot stand any. Look, man, that might just be my country boy humble beginnings, man. It don't matter how much money that I ever get. I am never gonna act like I'm better than anybody else. I can maybe be arrogant sometimes. I can talk a little shit when somebody talks shit back to me, but I ain't ever gonna sit here and have the audacity to call somebody a goddamn insect, especially when I want somebody to pay attention to what I got to say. That dude got me fucked up. I took him off my following list as quickly as possible. I will never. Man, I'm telling you, I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm just a smidgen away because I love they fucking games that much that I'm like, man, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about it. There's too many other great talented developers out there that bust their ass to do a great job, and I can buy their games. This dude is out of bounds for his actions. Now, I'm backing off. Please, let's go ahead and sign this off. Go ahead and finish this off for me, man. I'm hot. I'm pissed on that. Bruh, I told you, I was hot. I was on one for that one. Disgusting.
Accountability is key at this point.
Disgusting.
And I believe that this is disgusting. I didn't think anything could top what Kojima said about his Western audience at that point, but this took the cake at this point.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Like, the worst thing is, I think this tweet that he said is like a couple years old, too. So I don't know if people called him out back then when it happened, but I don't remember hearing anything. I really don't hear anything negative concerning Platinum Games a couple years ago outside of Scalebound, or at least they probably released a dud game at that point, as far as I can recollect. But right now, the accountability is key right now. Like Platinum, as far as I can tell, they don't give a shit what he says at this point. If there has been repercussions, I just haven't seen them for myself. But going beyond that, look at the industry. The media, the fans at this point, like this entire generation, people put Japanese developers on a pedestal and held them up to highest esteem right now. Held them up to highest esteem at this point, mainly because like a couple of the bigger ones were financially struggling at this point, so people were going above and beyond to hype them up. I guess as for some kind of desperation plan,
right?
Get more attraction towards them, so keep them afloat at that point, which I can understand to a degree, but I don't really co-sign the methods nor the intentions at that point. But people really do have I guess a strong bias towards Japanese developers this gen, especially this generation, with the amount of hype and guess as we can see right now, I guess what's the proper word for it? I guess the last days ago approach they have towards them and hold them accountable for certain stuff. Because like Ryan, we have a developer literally insulting his fans at this point, which he's pretty much saying anyone can catch his fade at this point. And as far as I can tell, no one said anything about it. Like no pushback, no heat from it, nothing whatsoever.
No.
So they're really showing that people, they want to do what the hell they want to do just to push their narratives going forward of proper Japanese developers.
Right.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, we know our Japanese.
I'm gonna go back and I want to read it. I'm gonna go to that.
Our Japanese concierge, the emperor of GRG is not here. I've been importing Japanese. I beat Octolad on PlayStation in Japanese. I was one of the first dudes in New York to put a switch on my Saturn. Okay, where you had to switch in the back from Japanese to English. I was one of the very first people. Shout out to my man Warwick. Shout out to my man Six Slayer. We was the pioneers of that. I love Japanese gaming, but let's just be real here. They used to be the most important area in gaming. They are no longer that. They stay disrespecting the Western gamers, where we buy more games in the United States than the whole Japan buys on a whole. They stay insulting our integrity. They stay insulting our intelligence on what we game and what we play on. How many times you gonna just keep letting these dudes ridicule us like they coming out with bangers every year? They don't. Japan used to be the pinnacle of the development community. It took one game to change the life of RPGs in Japan forever. Mass Effect destroyed them. When Mass Effect 1 came out, dudes didn't want to look at turn-based again.
Yep.
That's a fact. And you could tell they still bitter. How many Final Fantasies came out? 15 just got accepted? Come on. But they get in these articles, they're saying ignorant things. Kojima, my game was too conscious, and Westerners are not that type of gamer. They don't understand. Oh, now we stupid. No, your game was boring. and we didn't like it, and Japan didn't like it either. But it's our fault. He didn't say nothing about Japan not buying it.
No,
It's all about us. You know why? Because they need that us money.
Right.
They don't need that 200,000 sales, 300,000. They need that 5 and 6 million sales that come out the West. Stop disrespecting us. Go back to the drawing board and make something that everybody can play. Everybody. But I'm getting tired of these Japanese developers taking these subliminal shots, and IGN don't say nothing. Jeff Keighley don't say nothing. It's they're geniuses. What is it called again? Death Stranding is a piece of art, and we don't understand it. Oh, now I'm buying video games to look at Picasso paintings. Really? I can appreciate a great RPG. I can appreciate a great visually stunning game. Because your game don't sell, and it goes with Clifford Blinsky too. He don't get his way. He say stupidness. He's part of it. He just from on his side. But it's no difference between them when they don't get their way. They just disrespect our gangster.
At least he sounded humble. At least he sounded humble once he.
Not in the beginning.
Yeah, no. Once after Lawbreakers, he started talking real.
Yeah, he humbled himself. He even went in an article I read and said, sometimes I think I just talk too much and I got to tone it back. You think? You think? But I'm tired of the Easterners doing that. Y'all not coming out with no bangers? You're not coming out with no bangers? Yeah. Come on.
Right here.
Grand Theft Auto's killing you.
Right here. He said, I block all foreign language posts, whatever they are. Be careful. What?
Come on.
And this was an old post. But then somebody said something, must have seen it, and they brought it up, and then he brought it up to him like, hey man, why would you even? And dude blocked him, like a person that is asking for crowdfunding just blocked him instead of him saying, look man, I was just joking, this is whatever, I got dark humor, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else got the backpedal, but it seems like certain developers they don't have they could because they get this persona that they're larger than life that they could just say and do what they want to. No.
How about you bring up the larger than life game sales? How about that?
Yeah, well, I mean,
because that's where it's at.
You need to bring up that larger than life paper checkbook and go
right.
And start being.
And I don't care where the game come from. I don't care who makes it. I don't care nothing about that race stuff. But these dudes in Japan, man, they got reckless mouths against us as Westerner gamers. That don't mean United States. That's Europe too. Yeah. And they just come out and they blatantly say these statements, and they're not getting no backlash for it. The media is just like, oh, look what they said. Oh, wow. Let somebody over here say that.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get fired. They're going to be labeled a racist.
Let us say something like that. You know what I'm saying? Let us say that. We ain't nobody compared to what these people are in a respect of just people knowing. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the big space like that, and we say some crazy shit like that. We in trouble.
We're not going to disrespect my $65.
Let Larry Hurd come up here and say something close to that.
Right. Oh, my God. Yes. Let Rod Ferguson or Mikey Barr. Mikey Barr was always fiery. You know what I'm saying? Let him say something like that. All hell break loose. I mean, look what they did to Shannon Loftus, our girl Shannon Loftus. She was
they came after her like crazy.
Somebody they kept on popping off of her. Didn't like her political view. I get that. It's fine. And yeah, she says what she feels, but you can't keep disrespecting a person over and over and not get a response. But that was what the whole point was that, hey, look, we want you to get in trouble. We want you to get fired. But luckily she didn't get fired or anything like that. But the fact of it is,
she just used the word bitch.
Yeah. Well, I think she called her a fat bitch. I thought, or something like that.
Fat bitch, whatever. She is word bitch.
But you know what?
I said
they don't want the smoke back. They just want to be heard. We just want to be heard. And I'm tired of it, man.
Yeah, I'm tired of it too. You're gonna sit there and come in there, open your mouth and say crazy shit, then you need to get that
this free smoke.
You're gonna get this fade. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch all of it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get out of here, man. Good show tonight, man. We fought strong tonight, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. So let's go ahead and do our sign outs. Man, where can they find you at? And what's your fill of the week?
Oh, of course, you can find me at Smash Podcast every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. And of course on GRG every Friday at 9:30 Eastern time. Like, this time conversions are crazy. Fail of the week for me. I gotta think of one's crazy. Bruh, for me, it gotta be Fantasy Star tonight. Try and get that.
Bloody going. You can't do Smash tomorrow. You banned.
Whoa. Anyway, somebody in the chat asked who said that. He said what? And that was a dude from your man from Platinum Games. Was it Kojima? I think he said his
No,
name.
Kojima's not from Platinum Games.
I mean, not Kojima. Kamara. That's his last name. He said that. So that's who said that craziness of saying, look, if you'll get blocked if you don't speak into his language. So I don't know. It was an older tweet.
Racist.
It was an older tweet, but it was a tweet that also was it was brought back, and he blocked the person that seen the tweet just the other day this week, and the person came out and I was like, what? Why is this person even saying this type of shit? And why is he asking for people for money when he's over here talking about he wants to buy Scalebound? Come on, man.
You can't afford Scalebound.
Anyway,
you got an EBT card, not a credit card. EBT card, facts.
Oh, anyway. All right, so Lemon, man, where can they find you at, man? What's your fail of the week?
You can find me at 108 Dragons TV on all social media and specifically my YouTube channel. My fail of the week is I want my hour of my life back trying to get in Fantasy Star Online. I'm with my boy over here, Oppie Opp. And you know what's crazy about Opp? Mm-hmm. He's the rookie of the year, but he got to be the oldest rookie in the league. Facts.
I know he's been here. Crazy. He's been a lot longer than I thought.
Point there. It's been over a year now.
Last week when I played that video, I said I wasn't here then. That was 2018. That was like beginning of 2018. I said, damn. So yeah, so we need to be calling you the something of the year, nothing of the year. You just a nothing, a bum. Anyway, so all right, cool. 100. Where can they find you at? What's your fail of the week?
Oh shit, my fail of the week is, man. Damn, I was sleeping so good, man, and got up and I had to be at work in 5 minutes. It felt so good to be because it's cold out here in LA. I sleep good in the cold.
What was the degrees out here? Let me hear this laugh. Let me laugh at this.
40 something. It's cold to us, man. It ain't cold. I know I've been in the 20s and the zero. It was 40 something degrees, and it was feeling good. I was in the coma. I was in the coma. I didn't know. I was like, boom, like.
No wonder when people show those end of the world movies, or when the United States is about to get attacked, they always start at New York and LA, because y'all soft. Anyway, so soft is pudding.
It's cold.
Look at that cold. Just hey, you want to invade California? Go to California first. Hit up and just blow cold air on their ass, and that's it. There's some mint.
It's cold, but I sleep good in the cold. Like I said, I went into like a straight cold.
Just go to sleep.
Like all the stuff. I was like, boom. And then I look up, I said, damn, I must be leaving for work in 5 minutes. I had to go turn to Superman.
You didn't get there in no 5 minutes, because I mean, I've seen
I ain't have to be at work at 5 minutes, but it's the time when I'm getting ready to leave.
Okay.
Leave at a certain time. It was 5 minutes before I left. I'm like,
so how's that a fail of the week?
It's a fail because I don't do that. I take work seriously. I get up, shoot. At least
your fail of the week is that you didn't do that video talking about the next Xbox ain't got no TV features.
Woo!
Go do that video.
Do that video.
You don't know what I might do.
What's up, Delilah?
What's up, Delilah? Do tomorrow. Don't call me. I might do something tomorrow because I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
You like the 4-foot Power Ranger. Get the job done. Let's go.
All right.
Hey,
anyway, all right. So we was light tonight, but man, we had a good show, man. We did it. Glad for you guys hanging around, checking us out. Check us out next week. Here in about 2 weeks, GRG is going to be off for about 2 weeks. Got some things I need to be taking care of. Woo! So here in a couple of weeks.
He about to be not doing the pants off dance off. Yes.
What you mean I'm not going to be doing the pants off dance off?
Oh, my pants. My bad.
It's going to be serious pants off dance off time. Anyway, so but no, anyway, your boy going to be tying the knot here at the end of the month. So I want to be taking a couple of weeks off, man, and then
I still need that registry information, homeboy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I've been asking for months. Now we in crunch time. Let's go.
We at crunch time. Anyway, so other than that, man, thank you for hanging out. And as always, like I always say, if you ain't got to go to work, then your ass need. If you got to go to work, then your ass need to be asleep. If you don't have to go to work, then your ass need to be gaming. And if you ain't gonna be gaming and you ain't got to go to work so you can go to bed, then there's only one other thing that you need to be doing. And what's that?
The pants off dance off.
That's it, man. There ain't nothing else to be hitting, man. Unless you go into the club after this, and then you're gonna be doing your thing, man. And then, good luck to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let K Mega catch you out there slipping, man. Parking lot pimping, and y'all go home without nothing. And y'all just go get y'all a little, little taco or something, or a little slice of pizza from the food truck.
Don't go where we went in California. Might kill you.
If you in California, don't dare go to that place. The Latino girl, she's alright, but don't eat that food. Just admire from afar. All right, y'all. Everybody have a good night. Peace. Whoa. It was. It was.